Welcome, everyone, to the Islanders Never Say Die podcast. I'm your host, TJ, and with me here, as always, is the grumpy old man. They say there is no shame in his game because he is always the same.
What else am I?
Oh, our NHL analyst and expert, of course, Grump. How could I forget?
What else am I? Grumpstradamus. I am the curve.
Oh, I am the curve, says Grumpy. Oh, good gracious, Grump. We're going live here during another Islanders game, another Islanders watch along. And maybe most of you had noticed that we didn't have a podcast after the Islanders game on Saturday. So we're going to be going live during the game on Sunday, hopefully, so you get a little bit of your Islanders Never Say Die fix-in for the weekend. Man, oh man, 10 losses in a row, grumpy old man. Yikes. This, by the way, is a twice a week podcast where we talk about Islanders hockey on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time and on Saturdays, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If the Islanders play a game on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday, we will go and cover the game in a watch-along fashion, the same way we will be doing tonight. So to make sure you don't miss out on any of that content, you can make sure that you subscribe on YouTube, like on Facebook, and follow on Twitter. Also, if you like these live watch-alongs, we also do that with college football, NFL football, college basketball, baseball, any type of sport in our secondary channel, which is in the link in the description below, called TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. That's every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Grump.
And we are skipping that one today because Islander fans, I feel there's some trouble afoot, shall we say.
Here's the thing. I was out of town on Saturday. That's why we did not have a podcast per our usual schedule. So I said, man, I was almost trying to think if I could have gotten back home in time late last night, we would have almost had a state of emergency podcast. But that was not the case. I wasn't able to get back in time. So instead, we decided to go ahead and deviate away a little bit from TJ and the Grumpy Old Man for just today in order to give the Islander fans what they know and love, the Islanders Never Say Die podcast.
Right, but that means everyone has to subscribe to the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man podcast also.
That's a prerequisite, of course, Grump.
Of course.
It's required. It is required, Grumpy Old Man.
I am eating my dinner, so I might mute myself because TJ said, because I got the new mic on my body now.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave. We finally got. Oh, why don't you tell people, Grumpy Old Man, what happened with your new mic? You were having trouble with it, and you finally figured out how to get it to work.
Thank you, Dave Correa. Right off the top, I just want to say that. Thank you. TJ, no help, of course. And here's the thing. It was like a little switch. I put the little plug into the wrong thing. I put it into the headphone thing as opposed to in the speaking part. So whatever, I don't know.
Hold on.
Like,
So what you did is you put the microphone plug in the headphone jack,
yeah, it
and you
was
left
a
the
mistake.
microphone jack blank. So you
It
were
was a
that's why
mistake.
the microphone wasn't working.
But that said, that was only for one podcast. Before then, TJ couldn't even be bothered with trying to help me out. Everyone knows that.
Anyway, it sounds great. I think it's coming through on my side, Grump. It sounds fantastic, man. I'm happy. I'm happy. And thank you again, Dave.
I just wonder how it's going to be if I start screaming at some of my favorites.
No. Trust me. Yeah. It's going to pick up good volume on it. I'm sure it would. But tonight, Grump, Matt Martin getting healthy scratched in favor for Ross Johnston.
Who
Grump.
cares? Who cares? That's a difference. That makes a difference. I mean, I like Ross Johnston. How long do you think that's going to last? One game, maybe one game. They probably got a couple of physical guys on Chicago. Martin can't fit the bill. I mean, all right. From last we spoke, we said that we needed 14 points out of the next 10 games.
That is correct.
We have 2. We are on a 10-game losing streak. I don't know. So let's see. So we need 12 points in the next 8 games. Is that obtainable to you, TJ? What do you think?
You're going to have to be playing some pretty flawless hockey for that to be attainable. I mean, you're looking at it. Okay, you could go over that time span if you're going to need 12 games. I mean, you're going to need to win 6 out of those 8.
Look who's in net tonight.
At least.
Varley's in net today.
Yes. Yes, he is. He's in
I don't
net
have a problem with that. I mean, he's got to play every once in a while. Fleury's playing for Chicago. And just one thing I noticed on yesterday's broadcast, as well as today's, I think that AJ has a little male pattern baldness going on. Whenever she turns her head, when she's talking to Brendan, you can see she's doing like a little comb over action on the side over here. And I just wonder what's up with that.
I'm the king of the male pattern baldness, so I know all too well about that. But Grump, about to be puck drop here. This is one of those games where I'm sorry, you've got to come away with a win in some fashion, right? Getting the loser's point, I'm sorry, just doesn't do the trick. You've got to go ahead and pull together a win tonight.
Yeah, Chicago is a team, and we come out jumping. Looks like the vaunted second line, Bellows with Pajot and Palmieri. See how that works.
Pajot looks like Palmieri looks like he's got a little bit of energy and jump to his step.
Yeah.
So far today.
Now, I don't know where you are on the podcast, where you are on the telecast, TJ. I might be a little bit ahead of you, a little bit behind.
I'm 19. I just got to where their first break of action, 19 minutes and 43 seconds.
Again. Okay.
Let
me know when they drop the puck. Just let me know when they drop the puck. That's all I need you to do.
I will let you know. Until that time period, Grump, this is a game. All right, we just had puck drop. This is a game to where the Islanders have to get the offense going. I think defensively, Chara's a freaking complete liability out here on the ice. It's funny, right? I asked and I polled some people on social media on Twitter. I said, man, oh man, wouldn't it be nice that if Zdeno Chara, when healthy, goes to like a number 7 defenseman? I just don't think he's done all that much for us, and he's been hideous. And, as soon as he's back healthy, ready to go in, now we go back to where we're playing Andy Green and Zdeno Chara every single night, and sometimes on the ice at the same time, which is just abominable.
Right. Matt Barzal, once again, 1-on-3. Where is everyone else? I don't know. It's a fresh line. Oh, there's that useless bastard Bailey 4 seconds late entering the zone. Isn't he supposed to be an offensive player? Dobson's pinching down low. Good. Bailey, another weak-ass attempt at to make a pass. He sucks. I'm sorry. Then you got the other guy on the other side, the totem pole.
Oh, man. Well, the crazy thing is you're getting Islander fans out there that are more and more upset with what they're seeing out here on the ice. They're coming to the same conclusion we are. Barry Trotz is a great coach, but sometimes the line combinations and who he rolls out there are questionable. People are coming up saying, hey, this should be a pretty easy thing to figure out, right? You've got a guy who likes to stand in front of the net and collect rebounds and Anders Lee. You've got a guy who likes to pass the puck, a guy who's a really, really great skater and a creator and a playmaker, and Matt Barzal, and a guy who likes to shoot the puck. And when he's on target, he scores goals in droves and Oliver Wahlstrom. And we refuse to ever put that line combination together. Instead, we keep Josh Bailey on the first line again.
Did you see Char try to throw a check, and it looks like he kind of missed and ran into the boards and fell down?
Oh,
He looked like me throwing a check. Not good.
John Smith saying, first liner, Josh Mudda-effing Bailey. Just why?
He sucks. He sucks. I'm sorry. He's terrible. You know what he does? He just takes up space. You know what he's like?
Minutes. Josh Bailey, I think, seriously, right now at this point, he's just a guy who eats minutes. And I'm sorry, I need more than that out of a first line right winger, guys.
If you want to throw an entertainment reference to what Josh Bailey is, he's like at the Academy Awards when people have to go to the bathroom. They don't want the seats to look empty. So he's a seat filler. He just sits there until they come back. And then he goes and fills seats all night. That's all he does.
Hold on. They do that during the Academy Awards? Hold on. What are they? Which ones are the Academy Awards? Like the Oscars?
Yes. Yes, it's the Oscars, the Academy Awards. The Academy of Motion Picture Sciences. Yes, the Academy Awards.
All right.
They don't want the TV audience to see empty seats. So, and people have to go to the bathroom. Matter of fact, many of them are like TJ. Many times they have to get up and go to the bathroom. It's something I figure you can identify with. Maybe Josh Bailey should be sitting in on this podcast, and whenever you had to go to the bathroom, he could just sit in your spot. He wouldn't contribute anything, kind of just like you. So there'd be no contribution from him, just like there's none from you. But at least people wouldn't see an empty seat over there.
Well, here I was thinking that maybe you're going to pay me a compliment. Like maybe I've got, holy shit. Oh my God. What an opportunity.
Nice turnover by Aho.
Aho, shitty turnover. Jesus Christ. You cannot turn the puck over like that behind the net.
He's playing with Chara. Where was Chara? I don't know. Not playing defense.
But not a good turnover by Sebastian Aho at all. But I thought you were going to pay me a compliment saying maybe it'd have a chance or a future in showbiz, Grump, but I guess not.
If you consider that a future in show business, being able to sit in a seat, I do think you have a future.
Oh, okay. Well, there we are, Grump. There we are.
Now, Chicago has not been good this year. They got rid. I mean, I think we even talked about it where Jeremy Colleton was just, he wasn't the answer. I wondered how long he was going to last. And we wound up seeing that it didn't happen. I don't know what you're grabbing your face for.
Did you see the one-time attempt by Anders Lee? It was a perfect pass by Matt Barzal, and Lee just
well, he attempted to make a takeaway, but of course it didn't work out.
I was just flabbergasted by Lee's inability to connect on a one-timer. That was put in a good spot too for him.
That's not what he is. That's not what he is. Maybe he used to do that, but not anymore.
Now, let me ask you this. Varlamov has been, you say he has not struggled yet this season. I think he struggled a little bit. What do you expect to see out of Varlamov tonight? What do you expect to see out of Varley tonight, Grumpy?
Probably 1 week goal, 1 weeky. And, but he'll be solid.
Correction, that was not Sebastian Aho's fault. That was not a turnover by Sebastian Aho. That was a bad pass by Char that was intercepted. And then Aho got caught behind the net covering somebody. Okay, that was not Aho's fault.
It's even better. It even fits our narrative better. The old guy can't make a pass.
Also, Angela N saying, I want to apologize to Grumpy. He was right when he said we're old and slow, and Barry wouldn't play the youth. Hats off to you, Grumpy. Unfortunately,
I love Angela's new picture, The Grinch, one of my all-time favorites. How perfect is that, right? But no apologies necessary, Angela. We're all part. We love the Islanders.
We hate to see them struggle the way they are now.
We hate to see them struggle, but it is what it is, and there's no apologies necessary. You could, by the way, you still think I'm wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. I don't care. It's all right.
Oh man, I love Scott Mayfield to the box here for hooking.
Well, there you go.
And then Brian B said, "Hi all, early rise. I'll be missing the game. Enjoy, everyone." Oh goodness, yeah.
There's Brian, my brother from another mother.
Hopefully, we're pulling off a W here today, Brian. Tony Cheese saying, "Ooh, this is going to be a good one."
Tony listened to our watch along for the Oklahoma State Baylor game yesterday, and he was on fire. So he has a lot to live up to today. I don't know if he'll be able to pull it off. Probably not. It's very difficult, take it from the grumpy old man, to bring your A game all the time. But the been one thing for you, Tony, is you don't have to carry a partner like I do.
Oh, compliments aplenty for me from Grumpy. Drew L saying Wahlstrom had 2 goals. Barry, when is it time to move him up? One of those goals was with Barzy.
Yeah, there were 2 power play goals. Barzell had assists on both of them. I don't think you're going to see that. And, I see on the ice is number 88, Patrick Kane. Look how he's able to skate, move that puck, shoot the puck. Boy, I remember somebody saying that he'd rather have Anders Lee than Patrick Kane.
That's not even true, Grumpy. Jesus Christ. On to the next thing. John Smith saying here, Barzal assisted both of the Wahlstrom goals yesterday. Yeah, I thought Wahlstrom looked, even though he had 2 goals, he really, wow, what the hell? What did Varlamov lose his edge there?
He's just clumsy. He was drinking before the game.
Oh, good gracious, good gracious. But no, I'll tell you, I thought Wahlstrom looked really, really, really good yesterday. He had a lot of chances, even though he had a lot more chances than what he scored on as well. I thought he had a fantastic night. And always, again, our best power play guy, no doubt about it. Oliver Wahlstrom. Think about how anemic our offense has been, and that guy's probably going to lead the team in scoring.
Well, I don't know.
I think he can lead the team in goals. I think he can lead the team in goals. I seriously do. If he's given a chance and given the ability to elevate his minutes above the third line, he would, no doubt in my mind, lead the team in scoring. Because what do you have? Brock Nelson. Brock Nelson right now at 9. Oliver Wahlstrom sitting at 7, and you still have. Oh goodness.
Barzell has 5.
Okay.
So I mean, the thing about Chicago, I want to just touch on. Colleton, when he left his coach, Derek King, old Islander, came in. He was from the Ice Hogs or whatever the heck they call it from. Oh my God.
A goal against Jesus Christ.
Already down against. I guess we can turn this off. It's over. What's with all these Chicago fans? I guess Islander fans must be selling their tickets already.
Dude, it's funny that you mentioned that. I have been getting a lot of messages from a lot of people who go to the games live, who live in the area, and they say, look at the resale value, sometimes single digits up in the bleeds. I'm like, this is a brand new arena. I'm just shocked by it. And look at the good movement. Oh, Jesus. Did it get deflected? Did it get deflected by Kane? That's the only thing I could think of. No. Oh, no. Holy shit. Maybe hit off of who the hell's 38?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it deflected off him or not. Here's the thing. If it did deflect in him, tough break for Varlamov. Otherwise, he's got to catch that. If it's straight in, he's got to make a play on that.
He is
my goodness gracious.
Sliding all over Kingdom Come right now. Jesus Christ, Farley.
Are they still in the power play?
38 is Brandon Hagel for the Chicago Blackhawks.
Okay, so
maybe it hit off a shin, but we'll have to get a closer look at it, Grump.
There's Bailey softly entering the zone, afraid to take a hit. If I'm Matt Bar, where is he now? He's back on defense already. Bailey, useless. Already getting off the ice.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
We're getting off to a little bit of a rough start here this game. If you lose today's game and we're on an 11-game losing streak,
that's not good.
Wow, it's obviously not good. I want to hear what your thoughts are on that. We talked about, hey, when is a date or when is a time of death? Would an 11-game losing streak be one of those times you could say, yeah, this is a time of death? This is going to be really, really tough to overcome.
I think, okay, I'm not going to be Debbie Downer today, so I'll say no, it's not a time of death yet, even though we all know that it is. But I don't want to bring everyone down. So I'm not going to say that today. I'm going to wait for the 10 games and see if they have the 14 points. That's what I'm going to do. I said that was what we had to get 14 points to have any shot of making the playoffs. We had to have 14 out of 20 possible points against a mighty weak competition. We haven't even played the big dogs yet.
I was about to say, you've got a few guys that are guaranteed losses on the board unless we're able to really turn it around. The lack of scoring has been concerning. The defense hasn't been great at times, but the biggest issue is the inability to score and the lack of production from our forwards. That's been the most concerning portion of this season so far. And yeah, I think it's really, really safe and convenient, right? We heard every excuse in the book so far. Well, it was a 13-game road trip. Well, it was COVID. Well, it was because we're starting 30 minutes early. We're starting at 7:30 game times instead of 7 o'clock. Well, it's because they changed up the probiotics that the players used to take before games, and now that they're not on their name brand items, that it's kind of giving them a little bit of a little disturbed stomach. We hear every single excuse from the book. It's about one of those times where I don't care what the excuse is, you have to start producing.
Well, here's one. Well, the sun came up in the morning. That's why we're not able to produce. I don't want
David
to.
S. saying fire Trotz now.
No, it's not time to fire him now. And you wait till the end of the year. Here's
You
the
have
thing. If we go on a 60-game losing streak, I think he will be fired.
I don't foresee us going on a 60-game losing streak. That is for certain. Here, that's one of those items we'll talk about as if the season unfortunately takes a sour turn. We'll talk about, all right, what does the plan for the future need to be? Brett W saying Ross the boss is in tonight. Hell yeah. I love Ross. I think he does a good job. But remember the last time Ross Johnson was in, he only played like 5 or 6 minutes. So is it going to be one of those items to where we see Ross Johnson playing limited shifts with the fourth line? Or is he actually going to get a legitimate chance? I think Ross does a great job of winning pucks along the board. I think it does a great job with his physical play. And I think he's one of those guys that other teams have to always keep their head on a swivel for. He's got a little bit of an offensive touch too, but for whatever reason, Barry's just not a big fan of him.
I want you to look at Brett's picture there. Do you know what that is, TJ?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Very good. I'm going to give you some kudos for TJ there. Very good.
Okay, it did hit off of Hagel's knee, is what they're saying.
So here's the thing. I'm giving Varlamov a pass on that, without a doubt.
There's no way in hell he could make that.
Here's the thing. He was going to miss the puck anyway, but I still going to give him it was going to go wide.
That shot was going to go wide. But I mean, that's a tough break for Varlamov. That's not a goal that you give or fault Varlamov for. That was just one of those where, hey, you've got a Chicago Blackhawk in front of the net unimpeded, Andy Green. That was your guy that's in your zone. I'm just saying, it's a fluky bounce off of it. Even if it wasn't it and that shot's on net, you have a guy right in front of your goalie who is unimpeded with no defenseman around.
It was still
a free shot attempt, a free chance to rebound.
Yeah, it was a power play goal though. So, that stuff is going to happen. There's Andy Green losing the puck battle again. Oh, there's Josh Bailey, the weak pass across to Green. Yes, you'll hear a lot of those comments from me about Josh Bailey.
Grump, we don't need you to give the commentary like that. Like people don't listen to you for that, Grumpy.
Well, actually, I want people to know how often Josh Bailey touches the puck. It'll probably only be 4 or 5 times all night.
Well, we don't need to hear that, Grump, because we'll get the Josh Bailey report when he has zeros across the board. The Wicked 50 Cal said, hello, everyone. Just curious on your thoughts on this. People have been saying that Aho has been bad. I don't think he's been that bad. Analytically, most nights, he has provided positive value.
Okay. He's not been bad. He has not been bad. I'll tell you, he's better than Salo when he was in there. Salo still needs more time. I've had no problem with Aho whatsoever. Here's the thing. I don't care about the analytics aspect. All I know is what I see. And here's Char's throwing punches. Let's see if he gets a penalty there. I mean, Mayfield's been roughing up a little bit. He should have got a cross check before. Did not. Referee had a little talking to him. Now, Chara threw a punch at this guy, and nothing happens. I mean, when you have that type of cachet around the league, he's just talking to him. Hey, you can't do that. He's like, okay.
Hey, Big T, I know you're a legend around here, but I can't have you punching guys after the whistle.
He's like, you know what? You shouldn't be out here, Zdeno. He's like, I know, but they gave me a contract, so I'm going.
No, that's not it. I'm sorry, guys. We just now got this pulled up. I got the live score with the loss wrong. I had forgotten there for a sec. I don't think Aho's looked miserable. I think he's had times where, okay, he's making mistakes. But we have a lot of defensemen out there that make mistakes and a lot of forwards that make mistakes. People are always going to look for the new guy, say, okay, what have they done? I thought Salo's made a lot of mistakes, but here's the thing. The mistakes that Aho and Salo have made so far are coachable mistakes, right? The mistakes, as I've mentioned before, that Chara makes are not coachable mistakes. You're never going to be able to get him to skate better. You're never going to be able to get him more fleet of foot. He just can't do that. He's just past that point in his career.
Yeah. And once again, who do you blame for that? Who's to blame? Is it Lou Lamoriello or is it Barry Trotz? It's not Zdeno Chara. Barry Trotz puts him in that lineup every opportunity that he has. So you have to blame Trotz for that, period.
Got a comment here from Matthew C saying, fire Lou.
I think we're going to get a lot more of those as well. It depends on how the game goes today.
Here's the thing: if we lose in regulation, the sky will fall. Islander fans will have an epileptic attack because of how poor we've played. And right, at least we're getting a few points, right? Even though we're losing, getting the consolation point. Some, the media cartel has been twisting it on. Hey, we're on a 2-game point streak, guys. We're starting to round things out. Do you love? I need to talk to you about this because we didn't have our podcast this week. Did you love Anson Carter and every single talking head that was officiating or was on the telecast for the Islanders was like, oh, well, you got a lot of people coming back from COVID, and it's going to take them a while to get their legs back. And when they're asked those questions in the post-game presser, they'll say, oh, no, our conditioning's fine. I was asymptomatic. Everybody just kept saying I was asymptomatic. I didn't feel any symptoms of it. So I'm like, these are not guys who had felt actually sick from COVID when they contracted it. So I don't think you have to really worry too much about the 4 days they had off.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, what we just saw here is the second line getting a chance to score. Palmieri has a shot blocked by Fleury. Comes out to Pajot. He hits the goalie. It's like, yikes. I mean, and here they're showing the replay now. There's Bellows showing an awful lot of hustle. Kiefer Bellows, right? Can't skate Kiefer Bellows. Drives down there, makes that pick, a beautiful pass to Palmieri. Palmieri misses the shot. I tell you what, I'm glad that Kiefer Bellows is playing.
Kiefer Bellows says look good. All I hear is all negative. Oh, Kiefer this, Kiefer that. I'm giving the time of death on Kiefer Bellows. People doing all that garbage.
Okay. Do you want to know why these guys are playing better, or they look like they're better? Because they've actually been giving a legitimate shot to perform. When you roll them out there every single night, they get better. They're not going to get better playing one game, 6 minutes a night, and say, "Oh, well, he didn't impress much." Well, it's because he doesn't get an opportunity. And Barry Trotz, if you make a mistake, you're toast to him. Oh, Ross Johnston missed a wide open shot. Nice try to pass across by.
Gotcha, Grump. I don't, Grumpy. This is where we're talking along with it. I don't know why you're going to give me the play-by-play of everything that's going on.
Because I watch the game. You don't. I do.
I am watching the game. Angela N. said, I'm so depressed. No need to be depressed right now. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe she has another reason to be depressed other than just the Islanders. So I don't want to say don't be depressed, but don't be depressed over the Islanders.
Yeah, well, not over the Islanders, that's for certain. I mean, I know that the results haven't been there the way we wanted to, but yeah, I mean, Dobson had a pretty decent chance on that too, just missed a little wide. But I'll tell you, Grump, we have got to get the offense going. We've got to generate more shots. What was concerning about yesterday's game too, Grump, we only had, I believe it was 7 shots about 6 minutes or 7 minutes into the second period. Yikes, we have got to generate shots. We have to throw the puck more on net.
It's awful tough to score goals when you don't put the puck on net. It's just very, very difficult. I'm going to say it's one of the most difficult things to do if you don't shoot the puck on the net to actually get scoring. It's very difficult. Maybe we should consider doing that more. Maybe Barry should teach them that. Shoot the puck. Good things can happen.
Yeah, certainly can't.
We look at quality.
Cover that behind the back of the net that was going his way. God almighty.
When we look, they went, oh my gosh. This is a team we beat. This is one of the only teams we beat.
This is one of the 5 teams we have beaten so far this season.
Yeah.
So, and then Matthew C. bringing up this point. I like this, Grump. He's saying if Lou was younger, he would fire Trotz and go behind the bench. LOL. He did that to Robbie
Fatorik. Yeah, when he was with the Devils. Yep.
I wonder. Here's the thing. I wonder if also Lou's age has something to do with the makeup of the team, right? He's sure as hell not going to be saying, I want to be the general manager of a rebuilding team. He's got limited time left he can be a general manager for. So that's why here's the thing. We talked about how many points would the Islanders need to be at if they were going to double down and try to add at the trade deadline. The more and more we lose, the more and more that looks like there's no possibility of that.
Okay. I've already said there's no way I'm doubling down on this team.
Nice outlet pass by Dobson there too.
Right.
Look how Sarnak is in the game. Ugh.
I mean,
have a great game last night.
Well, here's the thing: Panic has looked better than him.
I think
Why
so
play
too.
Jarnik over Panic?
Well, his center. They're looking for a center. And Andy Adderoff. Oh, nice move. Who the hell was that at number 12? Pretty
Brendan
nice move.
DeBrincat.
But here's the thing, right? Noah Dobson gets him down low. He checks him and dispossesses the puck, and it leads there. He outlets the pass to Anthony Baviglia. Now we've got it pinned deep in Chicago zone. I mean, that's a fantastic job by Dobson.
To Mayfield, nice save.
Nice save by Marc-Andre Fleury on Anthony Baviglia.
Yeah.
Bass 7248 says, "Is tonight the night?"
No. It has a feeling of no right now.
Scott L saying, "Hey guys, Scott, when you get your shirts, let me know. Send a picture so we can make sure we show everybody the beautiful shirt that you got of the of Grumpy's Groupies."
I have to get myself some shirts, by the way.
Absolutely. Michael M saying, "You guys are live during the game tonight?" I know because we didn't have the podcast yesterday. We were like, we need to go ahead and get everybody the Rounders Never Say Die fix in for the weekend.
I will say, since this is taking the place of the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man show today, if you have any football questions or general sports questions or any fan fights during the intermission, we will be happy to roll with them.
Exactly. If you have anything you want us to cover that's not Islanders related today, too, that's just sports related, we'll do so. Or even not sports related. I don't care.
Yeah, we don't care.
John Smith saying here, so what's the over-under that Varlamov lets in a goal in the first 5 minutes?
Okay, who's it? Pellick and Mayfield, not a defenseman near the front of the net. Neither one of them. What are you doing, fellas? Oh, there's Parise. He's our new fourth-line center, by the way, Zach Parise. So anyone can be a center. All you got to be able to do is take face-off, right? Matt Barzell's one.
Well, here's the thing. Zach Parise was just playing on our first line not too many games ago.
Yeah.
Think about it. Zach Parise, with all those injuries, Oliver Wahlstrom was never given a chance on the first line. Freaking mind-numbing. Mind-numbing.
Nice pass. Really nice pass.
And then, you know what I mean? You get here, Dobson, he just flubs his lines a little bit. I wish that was all net.
Missed the net. Oh, it was deflected wide. It was deflected wide.
Ooh, that's kind of a vicious hit right there. That was a vicious hit by the Chicago Blackhawks.
I mean, you see Barzell. I mean, where is Bailey? Where is Bailey? Is he even on the ice on this shift? I mean, it's hard to tell. Honestly, it's hard to tell if he plays, if he doesn't, because he does nothing. Nothing.
Well, no, they just are taking him off there. The first line just exited there for the shift. Lou R saying, what was part of the game plan in the last game to pass it to the other team? I'm going to say probably not.
Yes, they're practicing that since they've been. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Who was that? Green on the other side? And here's the thing: who else I've been impressed with Dobson. I've been impressed with the young guys and totally disappointed with the veterans on this team this year. I'm sorry.
I think Green looked okay, but Chara, I'm sorry, man. Chara's got to go. You can't play him every night.
I'm talking all of the veterans on this team. Forward lines, everything. Defense, everything. I'm sorry. I mean, even Anthony Baviglia, I mean, I consider him still a young guy, but he's not been great this year. All right. Think about it. Lowly Chicago has carried the game today for the most part. Right?
This is a home game as well, ladies and gents, right? Everybody talked about, hey, the Islanders had such a great home ice advantage last season. They went 21-3-4 at home last year.
I just want to tell you something else. There's a lot of fans disguised as empty seats tonight.
I keep telling you, it looks like that every single time, and everybody calls me crazy. Oh no, TJ, you're wrong.
Look at there. Since the Islanders actually got into the zone, look at how many it's a whole section that's empty. A whole section is empty. I mean,
well, again, I said it looked like there was sometimes 30 to 40% of the bottom rows that look completely empty and vacant. And everybody tells me that comes on. Oh no, I've been there. They're not empty. All I could do is judge it. People are saying, hey, there's a lot to do and visit inside the actual arena. Maybe people are just not sitting down to actually watch the game, and they're out there drinking at the bar, and it's like a social event for them. Be a lot of money to pay for a social event, but hey, I would have seen, I've seen crazier things. Tony Cheese said, "Where's the pajama shirt?" Well, hell, I might have to break it out in the third period to try to get some magic going. Watatuso Sai says, "I love Ross, but Barry will probably only play him for one game." Grump. Maybe Grumpy's frozen. Yeah, I'll tell you, we're only going to see this for one game. It's just to try to send a message. But Grumpy, you think Barry's only going to play Ross Johnston for one game?
Yeah, I think you'll see Matt Martin back. Here's the thing. He never benches the veterans. I'd love for him to do it. What has Matt Martin contributed this year? Anything? Really?
Mm.
Besides, 1.5.
Yeah, he struggled. Matt Martin has struggled there this year, no doubt about it. Michael M saying, TJ, we need Islanders Never Say Die Discord chat. Watch parties. Time to teach Grumpy Discord. Good luck. Yeah, Grumpy, as you could tell, Grumpy's got his internet always going in and out. I mean, like, we got to take it one step at a time here. But if we ever, Grumpy, would you ever do something like Discord where people could text message you and everything like that on an app?
Text message me?
Michael, it's going to be tough. That would be really tough for Grumpy. It would almost take like a month of every day, like going, like it would be like one-on-one tutoring.
Nice to see Derek King as coach. It's a pretty bad looking suit, but still nice to see him getting an NHL job. I always like Derek King.
It's a horrible looking suit for certain. David D said, "Hello, fellas. Love the fact that Joshua the Tree Bailey is playing on the top line once again. Stone hands talking about Anders Lee. Why not Wahlstrom? Barry Trotz needs to be spoken to. He hates playing the young guys. One mistake, you're a out of the game. If the veteran makes multiple mistakes, they continue to play. Joke's on us as fans."
All true. All true, David. I mean, I've been saying that for years. No one wanted, I'm stupid. You're wrong. Grumpy old man. You're never happy. No, I could see it coming from 100 miles away. And the whole thing is now everyone on our team, 3/4 of our forward group, nice turnover. Of course, Parise turns into nothing. Or over the age of 30. I mean, we look like we're skating in sand. Nice play by Aho fighting off a much bigger player and getting the puck out of the zone. And who's that? Ross Johnston. Nobody takes a run at him.
And here's the thing. Ross Johnston goes into look at that. Ross Johnston goes into battles along the board. He goes ahead and knocks them off. And I'm telling you.
Nice pass. Parise scared to shoot now. I'd love to see Johnston score before Parise does. I think it would just be so perfect.
Here's the thing. Parise has done a lot well. He has. That being said.
What has he done well? What has he done well?
I like the effort. I like the hustle. I like the forecheck. He just cannot put the puck in the net, which is unfortunately one of the things that you were brought here to do.
He's not setting people up either. Okay, so he skates up and down his wing.
He skates up and down his wing, exerting effort. That's what you're expecting from a bottom six guy, an occasional scoring touch. I mean, out of a bottom six guy, I'm really expecting maybe 10, maybe 15 goals maximum.
Yeah, but, or 15, 20, like you said earlier in the year.
You freaking ridiculous. Oh, my goodness.
15, 20? I'm like, no.
What if I think I said 100? I think I said 175 goals.
Don't try to play it off like that. Here's the thing: I overshot what he was going to do too. I thought he had an opportunity to score 10. Maybe
that was a good job. That was a good job by Parise fighting to get that puck and winning that along the boards, and he sets it up for that good one-time attempt. That's a good job by Parise, man. I'm just saying. Parise hasn't been scoring goals. I'm just saying he's been playing well. Though.
You know what? Richard Panik looked like that when he was in the lineup.
That's true.
You know what? Kiefer Bellows looks like that when he's in the lineup.
That's also true.
So it's not like he brings nothing to the team. Absolutely nothing but increasing the average age of the squad.
Oh, with the wraparound, I thought Pajot was going to have a chance there because Marc-Andre Fleur looked well out of his position. And
I mean, do we even feel like we're a threat to even score? This is one of the worst teams in the league. We're playing one of the worst teams in the league. This is not, the 1970s Montreal Canadiens we're playing today. This is the Chicago freaking Blackhawks. I think they have 8 wins on the year.
We've got here, what a film saying, we got Johnston in for Martin. That's a good thing. I think it's a good thing, but there's so many other things that need to be done too. But what's up, Woda? How are you this fine evening? Arthur Staple just sent us an update too, letting us know that now the first line is comprising of Anthony Beauvillier, Matt Barzal, and Josh Bailey.
Why Josh Bailey? Why the frick is Bailey out there? I can understand why. Why Josh Bailey? Why Bailey? You got why not put
Ooh,
Wahlstrom?
that's close to too many men on the ice. That's really close right there for Chicago for having too many men on the ice. But go ahead, Grumpy.
I mean, to me, why not Wahlstrom? I really thought you were going to say Wahlstrom, but nope. There's Bailey just standing along the wall, holding up the wall. Don't worry, Barzell says I'll just take it right off your stick, Josh Bailey. And then the play's over. He's like TJ at a fan fight. As soon as the goalie clutches the puck and the whistle blows, he skates towards the goalie like he's the hero of the show. That's what TJ does at fan fights in stadiums. He waits till it's all over. There's nothing to see here, ladies and gentlemen. Break it up. That's TJ.
Warzone Senior Citizen said, "Can you guys give a shout out to my girlfriend Erica? She's a big fan of the show." Grumpy, I know Erica wants a shout out from the character, the seat, the guy who puts the fannies in the seat. Grumpy, I'll let you give a shout out.
Erica, we love you on the Islanders Never Say Die podcast. TJ and the grumpy old man, keep Warzone Senior Citizen in line because he needs to be checked periodically. And I'd love to see you sign in and send us some comments too, because, hey, we're one big happy family. Love you, Erica. Keep watching. Keep listening.
Michael M. said, TJ live chat. Oh, God, now he's going to put me on the spot doing something technically. I don't know. Michael, let me go ahead and look into that at the end of the first period. Then David D said, Zdeno Chara and Andy Green play because they are well respected, even though they're finished in their careers, even with Parise.
I mean, it looks like Anders Lee is finished with his career too.
Jesus.
Mercifully, the first period is over. Mercifully, we are only down 1-0. So maybe that's a positive. Maybe we're going to sell that as a positive. Well, hey, the Islanders were totally outplayed and dominated today, but we're only down 1-0. It's just one shot.
Just one shot and one bounce our way. Brett W. says, can't stand Bailey on the first line.
I'm going to take it one step further. There's Barry's muttering to himself. You know what, Barry? Look at him. He's like, it's because we're playing all these damn young guys. That's why we're not scoring goals. I know that it was because of the old guys that we gave up goals. I understand that, but it's because those young guys are in the lineup tonight. It's just look how badly it's going. If I rolled some more geezers out there, we'd be losing 5-0. But you know what? I'd be more happy because I'm playing with the old guys.
Angela N says they already look like dog meat.
Like I said, you listen to the excuses. One excuse at COVID, the road trip, the this, the that. You know what? The new arena. Stop making excuses. Here's it. The only excuse you have is your team isn't very good. You kept it together too long. You should have jettisoned all these guys. And I'm going to say it again. If we had done what I suggested they do when Lamoriello and Trotz came in 4 years ago now, blow the team up right from the get-go, rebuild with young guys. Right now, this team would be loaded for bear and coming and competing for cups because all the young guys would be growing up together. Right now, we have nothing in the minors, in the juniors, nothing. I'm sorry. I
want to bring up the thought process that some fans have. And again, I try to look at everybody's opinion because I want to see where the other thought process is. People will say the reason why we can't have Oliver Wahlstrom on the first line is because he's too young. He makes young mistakes. And now let me ask you this. Islander fans, did we see how Detroit looked yesterday? How it was with Lucas Raymond, the rookie? He was flying up and down the ice. And you see some rookies that if they're talented enough, if they're able to fit what the team needs for that position, when they get elevated up to an upper echelon line, a top six role, you see a lot of those guys thrive and they flourish. And you just wonder, okay, if Oliver Wahlstrom would be given a chance, could he do something like that?
Here's the problem. They say, yes, they make mistakes. You know what? Great. But there's upside there. There's upside with those players. Yes, Raymond might make a mistake. Who's the defenseman? What's his name? The guy who scored the winning goal yesterday?
It's Mo Cedar.
Cedar. Yes, they make mistakes, right? He makes mistakes, but you know what? The upside is there. So yes, you're willing to let a guy make a mistake for the upside because you're not going to get any better sitting in the minors for 3 or 4 years. You let them learn on the job, particularly if you're a team that's not very good. You let them learn on the job, and this way they benefit, like I've said for years and years. So when playoffs time comes, you're going to have these guys ready to go, and they can replace some of the veterans who are never getting better. Do you really expect any improved performance from Anders Lee, Josh Bailey, the whole freaking fourth line, Parise? I mean, think about it. There is going to be no improvement from those players, just more decline.
Michael M., I'll have to take you up on that. I'll have to hit you up to teach me how to use Discord a little better. I'm a normie when it comes to that stuff. I'll have to learn. My wife usually has to teach me everything when there's any like technical items involved, unless it's regarding the podcast. That's one of those things I do know. Tony Cheese said, too many bathroom breaks for you to have a future in anything. Oh, Tony Cheese. Tony Cheese letting them fly tonight. That's for certain. Doug R. saying, if Barry had his way, Wahlstrom would be in Bridgeport.
True.
Do you really think that, though, Grumpy?
True. 100%. 100%.
I'll let you read this comment, Grump. Grump, I'm going to let you read this comment, and I'll be right back.
Are you freaking kidding me? Holy
Grump,
shit.
It's the first period. It's like, how everybody rushes to the bathroom at the end of the first period. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to rush.
I'm not even allowed to have dinner, okay? I have to mute myself to take one little bite of my dinner, but TJ can wander away for hours, peeing all over the walls or whatever the hell he does when he leaves here. I don't know. But, I mean, it's ridiculous. Put the comments back up.
Okay, let me ask you this. I like Anson Carter. Well, I've again, like besides that one comment he made about how people are they got to get their legs underneath them. I've liked Anson Carter in this role for us at MSG. I've really enjoyed him.
Why is he doing? And I like Anson Carter too. I wonder, did he get demoted from somewhere? I don't know, but I like him for certain. Certainly better than AJ. I remember him playing for Vancouver with the Sedins, and he had his greatest year ever, and he decided to sign a free agent contract somewhere else. If I ever talked to him, that would be my first question. Do you regret signing somewhere else after playing that year with Sedins? I know you cashed in a little bit, but do you think you could have taken a little bit less money and then earned more on the back end? I don't know. Okay, here's David Jajesu saying players on this team that are finished tail end of their career: Martin, Bailey, Clutterbuck, Chara, Green, and some others. The good news is all of them are UFAs at season's end, but Bailey, that can be traded, and Matt Martin can be bought out or sent down to AHL to free up his $1.5 million in cap space. It's funny, I mentioned to TJ that I was looking at who are keepers on this team, and believe me, none of the guys that you just listed there are keepers for me. I think there's maybe 5 guys on the whole team that I would say I'm not trading. Everybody else is on the block.
Who are those 5 guys from?
What now?
Who are those 5 guys?
Sorokin, Barzell, Wahlstrom, Dobson, and Pelech. That's it. Everybody else, if the price is right, they're gone. And for guys like Josh Bailey, free. I'll give you, we're trading second round picks to free up, to get rid of Andrew Ladd. I'd give up 3 firsts to get rid of Josh Bailey.
Grumpy, are you sure only 3? Would you give up maybe 15 or 20 first round picks to get rid of Josh Bailey?
But the whole thing is, I think you can only, the whole thing is teams won't take him, even at getting all that stuff back. No one wants him. No one
15 first round picks wouldn't be enough for a team to take Josh Bailey. Is that what it is?
Like I said, Anders Lee, gone. First one. Like I said, for me, everybody's on the block. And I'd say it like this: hey, we want to give Anders Lee, he's been such a great Islander, blah, 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 right? We want to give him a chance to win. He can't skate anymore. Did you watch him last night? He's kind of got a sticker on a guy, and he doesn't move his feet, just kind of glides. What if that was Bellows? What would we be hearing in the post-game press conference from the Armadillo?
Do you want to know what I'm hearing already from that? I'm hearing from Islander fans who maybe have never played a professional sport or a sport at a high level. Oh, well, when you tear an ACL like that, after the rehab time, it usually takes you a full year of playing action to get it back to where you could skate better again. And Grumpy, I don't want you to spit your food out when you hear something like that. But when I hear something like that, I just can't help but laugh. Like, my God almighty. I'm like, I'm sorry. No, you see a lot of professional athletes bounce back from, having a knee injury like that after a surgery. And, after maybe about 10 or 15 games, they're like, boom, we're back operating at high end levels. Haven't seen that from Anders Lee so far yet.
He looks exactly like he's looked in the past. Here's the thing. It's a little bit different in hockey. Remember, you're on blades. It's not like you're planting all the time and stuff like that. So it's easier in hockey to recover from an ACL. It just is. You're not having a constant pounding every time you take a step or a run. It's just not the way it is.
Scott L saying Wally will never play on the top line as long as Barry is coach. We all have to accept that.
Yeah, it's certainly not going to be this year because if you didn't do it when you had COVID, when are you ever going to do it? All I know is you see him on the power play, right? He plays with, what have we been saying? At least play him on the first unit with Barzell, right? He finally does it. The kid scores 2 goals in one game on the power play. Well, you want to know what? Because he's a shooter. Barzell's a creator. It's a match made in heaven. That's why we wanted Tarasenko, right? Same type of player.
Yes.
But for some reason, Barry doesn't see that. I can't explain it, honestly. I mean, if a ham and egger like myself can figure that out, why can't he?
Well, that's why
the great Barry Trotz.
I think that's why fans are so frustrated too, because they say this seems like such an easy equation. This seems like something that could be a big fix to say, hey, this is how we can generate some offense. It's like a child, right? When they talk about, putting, hey, I've got a little triangle piece. I want to put that in the triangle slot. And I've got my circle piece. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the circle spot. And I've got my square piece. I'm going to go ahead and put that in my square spot. And it's almost like Trotz is trying to place, these square pegs in round holes. And it's just, no, man, if we can see it, I know he does too.
Yeah. I mean, I've said that for a long time now. He tries to change players. Where a good coach, a really, really good coach, tweaks his system to fit the talent that he has. Barry Trotz is not capable of that. And I think he's a good coach, but he's not a great coach. Not a great coach.
Well, a lot of fans are like saying, hey, they're coming to the same exact thought process we are. Barry Trotz is a good coach, but I'm telling you, some of those mistakes just really make them question certain things about him. John S. saying, if we can't beat Chicago, this season is over. Shame on Trotz for rolling out the same old non-producers.
I say if we lose to Ottawa on Tuesday, our next watch along, then the season's definitely over because then you won't be able to get to the magical 14 and 20.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Hey, think about it.
Parm saying good evening. Ooh, man, tell me that doesn't look nice there, Grumpy. A little meatball parm.
I keep on telling you, he needs to toast that cheese a little bit more.
Oh, look at that. You're trying to put a request in that meatball parm needs to go ahead and make sure he updates his picture with a little bit more of a toasted cheese.
Absolutely. You slit the bun, you put your meatballs in a carafe, you put your sauce in there, sauce on top, cheese on top, you put it underneath the broiler. Man, you let that thing bubble. You let that cheese bubble on the top. You grab it with with your little, like
tongs.
No, not tongs. Definitely not tongs. Like whatever the thing you grab a hot pot with. Whatever the heck it is, pot holder. There you go. And there you go. Close. And here's the thing: you rock it back and forth a little bit. And after you toasted your bread just a little bit, you slide it right on the bread, cut it in half. Man, oh man, that's the way to do it. Oh,
tell me you don't cook that often without telling me you don't cook that often. Yeah, that thing that you grab, hot items with, like a pot. The pot holder.
I could see. Well, there's also one that has like the glove too, like with the thumb and then the, like a mitten. It's like that. I don't know what the hell you call it. I just know to pull it out of the side drawer. That's all I know. Oh, there it is. Boop, boop, slide it right in there.
Matthew S. saying that first goal was on Mayfield. A terrible penalty to take.
He's taken a lot of bad penalties this year. Ugh. Look at Ross missed in that one timer. But here, let's be honest with you. That's who else missed one? Anders Lee, the $7 million man.
I was about to say, here's the thing. I know what my expectations are with Ross Johnston, man. I'm not expecting him to be an offensive dynamo. I'm expecting him to win puck battles along the board, to bring physicality, to bring energy, and sometime have a little bit of an offensive touch around the in the offensive zone. That's what I'm expecting from him. I'm not expecting him to go ahead and pot 50 goals a season. Oh, I didn't look up. I didn't know you were eating.
Because everyone, TJ tells me that when I chew, that it makes too much noise, so I'm not allowed to do it.
Is that what I said? You know what? Also, I think I said, Grumpy, when you breathe a lot of times. I said, Grumpy, when you breathe, sometimes it's kind of loud. Maybe you need to go ahead and hold your breath the entire podcast.
He's a freaking tyrant. He's like King George the Third before the
Uh,
Americans revolted. Hey, TJ, why don't we hit a bunch of comments since it's intermission?
that's what I'm doing here.
Okay.
Chase H said, Ross the boss will win us this game.
I hope he's right.
I
I
hope
hope
we
he's
do.
right.
We need to win in the worst way. Angela N said, we don't have one true goal scorer that Barry will play. Yeah, I was about to say that's probably accurate because we do have one, but Barry just refuses to play him enough.
You know what? I feel bad for Angela and fans like Angela because I realize that sometimes I say things they don't want to hear. And the fact that they're coming around, to admitting, that the stupid old man, the grumpy old man, hey, might have something there. It has to be very, very painful when you see your team that you believe in all that time and you see them going down the tubes like that. It's very, very difficult. And I feel bad for her and all fans like that, honestly.
Well,
Don't be too negative.
all fans, nobody wants to see
No.
their team struggle and their team lose. And I mean, like our podcast has always been one to where we try to look at it from a contrarian point of view, right? Whatever you're being fed, is there any way that might be all wrong? And I think that we've always noticed that there's certain holes of what we've done, and there's certain glaring pieces that we've missed. And yeah, we made it to 2 back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals, but we were still missing the ability to score. And this year, when we did not make a big splash, we talked about we needed to make a big splash this offseason. We didn't do so. That immediately worried me. And it worried you too, grumpy old man.
Yeah, I've been worried for a couple of years now. I never thought we were that good. I thought we were lucky with COVID, lucky with the shortened season, and this year the chicken's coming home to roost, Bobby Boucher, and that's
Doug,
what.
Doug R is saying you can't fire Trotz because at this rate, you will not get a decent replacement. No, you can't fire Trotz. Here's the thing: even if we are losing, I'm saying if we go on a 20-game losing streak, 30-game losing streak, you don't fire Trotz. Maybe at a 30-game losing streak you do, but it's not going to happen. You don't want to fire Barry Trotz. Here's the thing, though. We talked about what you have to do in the offseason. Grumpy has hammered this home a few times. If the Islanders don't make the playoffs, he has come up with an offseason agenda of what you have to do with Barry Trotz. Grump, I'll let you discuss it for a sec.
Very true. Here's the thing. If we don't qualify for playoffs, and it looks like we're not going to, I hate to be the harbinger of bad times, but it looks like we're not going to, right? So what should you do? You should jettison everybody you can at the deadline, everybody. And you say to Barry, we're going with younger players. We're going to be retooling now. Are you willing to be in on that? Where you're not going to be continually shackled wanting a bunch of veterans to carry out your system? Are you going to be willing to coach up young players and go through the bumps and the rough times they're going to have? And if Barry Trotz says yes, you're our coach. If he says no, bye-bye. That's what it is, because we need to make a change.
Tony Cheese saying, does a 79-year-old general manager really care about what this team looks like in 5 years? I think that's a good point.
Okay, but Lute might be 79. Is he 79? But here's the thing. He's a young 79, okay? I mean, he looks good. He's certainly lucid. I think he's at least got another 5 years left. Here's what I'm afraid of.
What? 5 years more with the Islanders?
Why not? Here's what I'm afraid of. He retires and Fredo gets the job. That's worst case scenario. I don't want Fredo anywhere near the UBS arena, right?
Yeah.
I got it that time.
Right. You finally got the name right. Grump, okay. You think that for a few different things, you think that Lou Lamoriello could be the general manager of the Islanders for another 5 years?
Look at the power he has. He was able to get the NHL to postpone games for us. That's pretty good. Didn't happen in Vancouver.
No, it did happen in Vancouver. That's wrong.
No. The only two teams that have games postponed this year are Ottawa, who were missing 10 guys and 3 coaches, and the Islanders.
It's okay. You've got your facts wrong. Vancouver had the COVID outbreak last season, and they had the games postponed last season.
I don't care about that season.
Okay, that's what people. Okay, they haven't had COVID this season.
Other teams have a lot of players out with COVID too. Just he bitches about it, and all of a sudden, boom, they get games postponed. It just saved another 2 losses for us. That's all it did. Maybe to postpone until the end of the year. That's all.
Doug R said, there's only one way to save the season. Dump as many old player contracts this year and bring up a team that's primarily under the age of 25 years old.
Preaching to the choir, Doug. That's exactly right. There's Barry. His eyes are looking shifty. He's like, yeah, we suck. I know.
I don't think that's what he's saying. Mario here. Now, Mario, Mario, that is a very odd picture right there. That is that's a very graphic image right there. I don't know what Tom from Tom and Jerry's cutting up right there. Is that Donald Duck? Grumpy. I don't know. My eyes are kind of old. But he says, have you seen the reports about Golashev returning to the KHL because he's not getting a shot in the NHL? Good. He should. I could not freaking believe that we heard the sorry-ass line of excuse when, right, we're essentially – how many times did we hear we're essentially throwing out there an AHL roster? And as we're throwing out and putting out an AHL roster, Anatoly Golashev didn't get one start, not one look, not one sniff. And the reason was because, he hasn't proven he can do it yet at the NHL level without playing any games at the NHL level. We're throwing in Andy Adderoff out there. We're throwing in any AHLer he could possibly find, but not Anatoly Golashev.
Okay. What has Josh Bailey done this year to deserve to play every game? I mean, you're trying to tell me that Golashev couldn't replicate his production? Please. What did you expect? All those Russian guys are the same. If they're not given shots, they go back home.
I don't blame them either. Why the hell would they stay here to play in the AHL, to play in an NHL?
Why did they even sign him? Why did they even sign him?
Nice check by Zdeno Chara. Nice check by Chara.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He's all the way up ice.
Yes, he's way out of position.
So Barzell's, in effect, got to play defense. There's Aho. He won't even look at Chara. He's like, screw that shit. I ain't throwing a puck to him. Unless it's picture perfect. He's going to bumble it all over the damn place.
David D said, trade Bailey, Kiefer Bellows, and Anthony Bevillier, Scott Mayfield, and a pick for a consistent goal scorer.
I swear, Anders Lee, I don't think he takes more than 3 or 4 actual strides on ice. All right, he was offsides. He backed into the zone with the whatever. Okay, the referees missed one there.
You're jumping
off. There's Bailey missing, of course.
Okay.
Barzell comes and takes it. It's like, what the hell?
I need a Grumpy. When you jump all over the place like that, it's tough for me to follow. I know it's tough for everybody else at home to follow. So
really, they're watching the game just like you and I are.
And you're going, blah, blah, blah. Grumpy, it's tough for me to follow. Maybe it's just tough for me to follow. I don't know, Grump.
I find it interesting that when you do play-by-play, it's cool. But as soon as I do, you're trying to shut me down.
When the hell have I done any play-by-play? Anyway, CJ Scoots. No, I haven't. CJ Scoots saying, arena seems to have a lot of empty seats. Sad to see. Yeah, Grump mentioned earlier, too. It's not good.
There are a lot of fans disguised as empty seats. My gosh, how many times can Anders Lee take a shot and just
not hit the target?
There's 3. Oh, who's out there? Mayfield down low. I mean, I don't think anything ever gets through.
We're having a little bit of sustained offensive zone time, though. I will tell you that much. Nice slap shot just off target. Look at Fleury. Fleury's all over the place.
I don't think he's made one save in that whole sequence.
Because nothing was on target?
Nothing on target. Or hitting their guys out front.
John S. saying Palmieri has no finish.
Yeah, except his career. That's finished. He's worth $5 million a year for 4 years, though. Jeez. Why? Because he bought a house on Long Island. That's reason enough to sign him. Okay, that's really wise. It's very smart.
Jeremy F. saying, "What happened to Del Cole? Michael Del Cole, is he injured?"
He's a minor leaguer. I mean, really, does he make a difference either? He doesn't make any difference either. I'm shocked that I almost think he puts the young guys out there when things aren't going well, so he can blame someone. He can blame the young guys. Well, Kiefer Bellows, I know he scored 2 goals and had 6 assists and 15 hits, but you know what? He was on the ice 1 goal that was almost a goal for the other team. He really don't deserve to play.
There it is. I'm not sure what's going on with Michael Del Cole.
There's Patrick Kane. Look at him. I tell you what, he skates more on 1 shift than Anders Lee skates in a week.
How many games have to be played in a week for Patrick Kane to skate more?
I'm talking about during practices and every other damn thing he does.
Oh, good God, good God. I'm not sure, Jeremy, what's going on with Michael Cole. Hopefully, someone in the comments knows. I assumed he was with Bridgeport. He was sent down to the A, but I haven't seen much of him in Bridgeport either. So I have to assume it's some sort of injury. Jeremy F. also saying here,
I
not
like
that I would
Imo.
want to trade Mayfield, but do you think he's worth trading at the deadline?
Yes, yes. He's on a very manageable deal. I think he's got one more year after this at 1.45. You can get he's a guy you can get quite a bit for
You can
actually.
get a first and change, I think, for a
At
Scott
least
Mayfield.
the first. I mean, you need draft capital. That's what you need. Sebastian Aho really can skate and he hustles back on defense. I've been impressed with him. I know certain fans don't like him, but I'm going to tell you what, he's done the job for us. And the more he plays, the better he gets. He's not big, but he's no Thomas Hickey back there. There's Bailey. Whoops. No, of course. That piece of shit Bailey was right on the side of the freaking net, right? The puck goes right to him through his legs. What does he try to do? He gets it. He tries to freaking pass. He was a foot from the freaking goal, and he's trying to pass out. What a dog. What an absolute dog.
Follow C said, it's all over, and I'm in for the 20%. I'm in for the rebuild 20% of this team. And then, yeah, Rich A saying old and slow.
Oh, man. Barzell just got pickaxed. Flipped right over.
Brett W says here, I just don't understand what Trot sees in Bailey, Parise, or Chara. What does he see that we don't?
Well, now you're playing
Consistency.
Clutterbuck, Johnson, and Barzell. And Barzell, of course, creates a chance for Clutterbuck, and there's Ross
I like
Johnson.
how
Oh,
Ross can do whatever the hell he wants out there on the ice.
nobody mixes it up with Ross. He'd love to
He
start a
pushed
fight.
good old Calvin DeHaan. What a
Hold
toughie
on. I
Calvin
think he
DeHaan.
just dislocated his shoulder on the side of the net.
Oh, man, low blow. A Calvin DeHaan. Oh, good gracious. Uh-oh. What's going on here? They still mixing it up.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You want to go? Oh, look at him. Please don't push. Please don't send Ross out. See, that's horse shit.
Are they going to send him out?
I don't know what they're
No,
doing.
don't do
He
this
was
shit.
pointing.
Okay, here's the thing. Ross always gets a lot of those, I believe, unjust called penalties against him because he is a physical aggressor. And they say, well, we're just going to go ahead and send you to the box. I don't have to see anything. Right to the box you go. Oh, man, oh, man. Angela N saying here, I really think it's on Trotz. I just don't like the way he handles the youth. Yeah.
That's what he's done everywhere he's been. That's why Washington got rid of him. Even after winning a cup, they were unhappy with the way he handled the young players.
And New York Ranger Mike says, I cannot believe Islander fans want Trotz fired. In my opinion, he's the best coach in the NHL. The Islanders should be blessed to have him.
Okay. NYR Mike sounds like a Rangers fan. I think
he's Mike Hartman, Grump?
No.
Okay.
I don't think that's his tag. So I think that he wants to keep Trotz because we're playing so poorly. That's what I would do. I would root for the other team to keep a coach that's not doing the job.
I thought that College Quinn should have been the coach for the Rangers for the next 15 years.
Forever. Now, see, there's a play where, even though I love him, Noah Dobson needs to dump the puck, needs to get the puck deep, as opposed to trying to finesse it along the boards going over the blue line. That's what he needs to do.
Well, here's the thing. Trotz is a good coach. I'm not suggesting we get rid of him. We just have to see what his ideology is going forward, right? If you're going to have a rebuild or, hey, we're going to try to sell off a lot of pieces so we can get picks because, our minor league system's kind of barren, you have to have somebody that's willing to work with the situation. He's a great coach, but you know how they...
He's not a great coach. He's a good coach. He's not a great coach. If he's a great coach, then he'd win more than one Stanley Cup, and he'd have to play somebody who wasn't an expansion team to win it with a loaded freaking roster. He's not a great coach. He's a good coach.
Okay, you're going to get on the semantics. He's a good coach. That being said, he just might not be the right fit for the team after this season if we're going to choose to rebuild, at least from based off of what I've seen in the past. Jeremy T also saying, go ahead, Grump.
I'll take Derek King over him right now.
Stop. You're ridiculous. Brent Thompson is reasoning for not having 26, or Barry Trotz's reasoning for not having Oliver Wahlstrom out there in overtime versus Detroit was that he played 3-on-3. That he has played 3-on-3 in the last 2 years. He hasn't played 3-on-3 in the last 2 years. Whose fault is that? The kid had 2 goals that night, and the Islanders have lost 9 in a row. Why not?
Think about it. every time he opens his mouth and says something stupid like that, it just proves that it's his fault. Well, Golichev has improved at the NHL level. Well, you've never given him a shot, Barry. It's not like he's in other organizations. He's only been part of your organization. Or Wahlstrom. Well, he hasn't played in 3-on-3 in 2 years. Well, who's been his coach, Barry? It's you. I mean, holy shit.
Yeah. Meatball Parm saying, growing up playing defense, I was taught to clear the front of the net. Now forwards are left alone. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and they just disperse. It's like, dude, you got the defensemen aren't playing defense. You have the centers and the forwards pinch. I mean, I don't know what the hell they're doing this year. Very frustrating.
Rich A saying, how about Wahlstrom not getting a shift in overtime last night? Yeah, it was a shock. I get it, right? They try to.
He was at risk for scoring a goal.
He had played really well in all facets of the game yesterday. And you figure, right, when a guy's played well, and here's the thing, let's say it was Cal Clutterbuck, or let's say it was Casey Zizekas. Casey had, again, I know he's not in the lineup right now, but let's say Casey had a fantastic night. He had 2 or 3 great opportunities to score, and he scored 2 goals for your team. Casey Zizekas should see some time in that freaking overtime, because when a player's hot and they're producing for you that game, terrific, man. Why are we going to fix what's not broken? Go ahead and give the guy who's playing well every type of chance he can. So, oh, yeah. Scott L said, I got the Maddie and the Jag shirt. I'm waiting on the Grumpy's groupies in the vans to get corrected. Grumpy's face has to be centered on the shirt. It was too far over on the right-hand side. So we'll get that corrected there. But he's got the Maddie and the Jag shirts on the way, Grumpy.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Grumpy, are you a little
No, because I'm trying to say things and you just think it's a TJ show today.
I think it's a TJ show, huh?
I mean, you just keep prattling on and on and on. What can I tell you? So, yeah. The reason why he didn't play Oliver Wahlstrom in overtime because he was afraid he might score a goal. That's why he didn't play him. He didn't want to get a hat trick. Because then he has less excuses to bench him going forward. All right. It looks like we're going to have ourselves. Oh, Wahlstrom getting set to the bench. He's got his hands up in the air.
You mean to the box? Oh, Jesus, Grumpy.
It looks like the referee took a shot to the face. He's got a little shiner going on underneath there. I kind of like that. Somebody gave him a pop. He didn't like it. Barry's upset. He's like, hey,
stop,
look at my
stop,
biceps. Look at my biceps. What's the problem?
Grumpy. I don't want to hear a
Watchalong
play. I don't want to hear a play-by-play like they do on the boring TV.
Really? Because nobody talks about the guy's shiner on TV. Nobody talks about Barry pointing to his biceps. Nobody does that. Only I do it.
Good gracious. I'll let you run with it. I'll let you do what you got to do. It's an amorphous thing we're working with. Deidre C saying, why are you guys on? There's a game. We go live during the games now, Deidre. So we're going to be providing content during games too. Watch-alongs on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays going forward.
Yes, because that's what TJ wants to do. I do whatever he wants.
How does it work, Grumpy? How does it work when I say let's do those?
You people don't realize how TJ badgers me. He's relentless.
Holy crap. New York Islanders or New York Rangers, Mike saying, yeah, before Trotz coached the Islanders, this team did not have a system of defense. If the Islanders make the playoffs, they will be dangerous because of their goaltending. Best tandem in the NHL.
The goaltending is good. The Islanders are making the playoffs, and there'll be no threat because we can't.
Sebastian Aho, Grump.
Oh, bench him. Send him down. Send him down.
Yeah, Sebastian Aho, that guy really does suck. Or was he deflected in front of the net?
Maybe it was Pajot.
Maybe it was redirected by Pajot.
Finally, they score a goal. Finally.
Power play. There we go. Maybe the power play started to click a little bit. Pajot is the one who's going to get credit. He must redirect it in front of the net. Nice job Aho puts the puck on net.
Good for him.
Knows.
I mean, he's and there's Parise just skating around in circles, not doing much anything. For me, let's see. Yep. I wonder if no, I guess Parise didn't get it. I thought maybe it was a double deflection, but no.
Nice job by Pajot. Nice redirection by Pajot.
That's what your point guy wants to do, right? You want to put the puck on net so guys can deflect it. That's what you want. I mean, they're tough for the goalies to stop, right? Let's be honest. And Aho, the kid needs to play more. What's the logical reason why Green or Char would play over.
There better be a fight. What the hell is this? What the hell is this, Stillman?
Who
What
did
the hell is that?
on top of
He
Clutterbuck?
jumped Clutterbuck. What the hell?
There's
Ross
Ross
Johnson.
Ross Johnson's got two guys.
Start pounding him. Ross, get over there and pound that freaking punk.
Oh, no. See, he goes, the referee, number 12, Bailey, the Bailey of the referees goes, don't do that, Ross. Don't do that now.
You should have jumped at Patty Kane. You should have just smacked Patty Kane once in the face. What the hell happened here? What? What the hell is going on over here? You better be going to the power play, right?
I think there is a penalty coming.
Okay, yeah, the Islanders are going to the power play. Thank God.
I saw the referee raise his hand.
Boom. I thought, did he not like? Okay. Did he not like the hit? What, he hit him with the knee? Oh, I wish Ross Johnson would have gotten a fight. Let's see here. Okay. You know what? It's just one of those, he's trying to throw a check.
That's knee on Taves. That was knee on
I don't think it was knee on knee. It was more like knee on midsection.
Okay, here's the thing. So what's Stillman doing? He's protecting his captain.
So he cross-checks him. Cross-check the back of the neck. See, seriously, though, I mean, like, is that a double minor? Is that a double minor, Grum?
No, it's just 2 minutes. But I'm going to say, if you're going to take a penalty, he looks angry. Stillman looks angry. Man,
you know what? Stillman, as soon as he comes out of the box, should be met with a fist by Ross. That's what should happen.
Okay. But here's the thing, right? He defended his captain. And if someone did that with average, you'd have no problem with it, right? So you shouldn't have a problem with it now. I respect him for doing that.
Okay.
You can't let Kyle Clutterbuck steamroll your captain. Can't let that happen.
I'll tell you one thing. The Islanders are dangerous. If they could score on this power play, all the momentum's ours going into the second period.
The momentum is ours right now, to be honest with you. And it's funny that regular play where we used to be really good in 5-on-5, we're really not anymore. And now we need something like that to kind of jumpstart us a little bit, which is frustrating to me.
That is Jean-Gabriel Pageau's first goal since November 4th of this season. It's his second goal on the year for Jean-Gabriel Pageau.
He's got twice as many as Bailey, who's played on the first line.
How many more does he have?
He's got twice as many as Palmieri, who's played on the first line.
And how about Parise, who's played on the first line?
He's got that's like something you can't even measure. You know, divisible by 0. It's like there is no such thing. Here's the thing: he has more goals. I have as many goals as Parise has. That's what I'm going to say. And I don't play near the minutes that he does. And I could skate up and down too.
I really want to see the Islanders be able to capitalize on this power play opportunity. The momentum's ours, but we need to try to score.
And there's Aho back again at the point. Oh, yeah.
Matthew C saying, yeah, fans might be walking around
every single game. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't want to watch the product on the ice. Maybe they want to hang out in the places they can eat.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Jeff E said, you said 30 to 40% on opening night. I was told I was wrong. I'm still saying it looks like there's 30 to 40%. Sometimes the seat's empty on the bottom row. I have no idea what it looks like in the bleeds at all. I just see the secondary market. They're getting down to the single digits. Anytime they do, I get screenshots from people who listen to the show saying, look at this. I could buy tickets for $8. I'm like, oh my God. All righty. Fair enough.
That's pretty good, except, you got to pay those service charges.
Oh, yeah.
They hammer you on the service charges.
Well, but it sounds like you're speaking from personal experience on that.
I am speaking from personal experience. It's like, what the hell? Just give me the price of the freaking ticket. Don't add shit on the back end. Just tell me what it is up front. As soon as I find like I'm getting duped, I'm like, fuck you. I'm not buying anything. Ugh.
Michael T saying here, hey guys, good to see you. Well, it looks like this really is a lost season.
It is. I mean, it was lost as soon as we did nothing in the offseason, honestly. It was lost. I just find it funny that we can't score at all. And Barry and Lou, after their first year here, said, yes, we realize we need more scoring, and we're going to address that. 3 years later, they still haven't addressed it. Not even attempted to, honestly. That's not something
I hate when you say that. They've addressed it a little bit, not as much as needed to.
Who, Zach Parise? That's your addressing right there?
Gabriel Pageau.
Jean-Gabriel Pageau was not brought in to be a goal scorer. He was brought in to be a third-line center. They need a sniper, a true sniper on this team. They have one, potentially, but they won't even give him a shot.
Scott Mayfield's going to the box for a high stick. Holy shit, his second
Again,
of the game.
I tell you what, and everyone knows I love Scott Mayfield. He's taken a lot. He and Chara both have taken a lot of bad penalties this year, and they've gotten away with a lot too, a lot, because their rep is that they're physical players, so they don't call everything. Ross Johnston, on the other hand, if he looks at the guy cross-eyed, bang, box for you, Ross. I know you have.
How dare you even think about checking or starting a fight immediately to the box? To the box.
Barry played you 5 minutes and 52 seconds that first game. That was about 5 minutes and 48 seconds too long for us. To the box. Punishment. We're going to punish you for being an enforcer.
Paulo C said, Trotz finally put Wahlstrom on the power play, and what happened? 2 goals. When was the last time we scored 2 power play goals in a game? Shit. I could pull that for you, but it may... let me go ahead and pull that for us. When's the last time, Grump, if you had to take a guess, when is the last time you think we scored 2 power play goals in a game?
I have a bet. When was the last time Josh Bailey scored a power play goal? I'm going to bet you that's even further back than 2 power play goals in a game.
I could tell you.
I don't know.
He has 1 power play goal this season, doesn't he?
Who?
Bailey.
Bailey? He didn't score on a power play. That piece of shit hasn't scored on a power play all year.
Oh man, oh man. Well, Grump, I'm going to be pulling this up, so I don't know what you're doing. Are you? What? Let me ask you, what are you eating tonight for dinner?
I'm trying to have some little chicken strips here.
Let me ask you this: some chicken strips.
They're cold now. They're cold. Just to let you know.
Whose fault is it that they're cold?
Yours. Because you make me feel guilty for trying to get a little sustenance in my body. You can go piss all over the walls, shit in the streets during the podcast. Doesn't matter. You could do whatever you want. I want to get a little bit of food. Hey, you realize how much noise that makes? I can hear everything you through your mouth.
Dude, I'm getting painted in a terrible light over here, and I'm calling bullshit on that. The last time the Islanders,
honestly, look at this penalty. I mean, how dumb are you to take that penalty there, Scott? I mean, come on.
The last time the Islanders had scored before last game, right? The Islanders scored 2 power play goals last night against the Detroit Red Wings on December the 4th. The last time we had a multi-power play goal game was on October the 30th against the Nashville Predators.
This year?
7th game of the season. Yes.
Oh, so it's definitely think about it. When was the last time Josh Bailey scored a power play goal? I'd love to find that information out. 1993 when he's playing in Mites.
Good gracious.
And there were a couple of empty net power play goals.
I will try to pull that for you, Grump, as soon as it starts loading for me. Let's see if he's.
I
think the one goal he had this year was a power play goal, but perhaps not. No, okay. No, he did. The one goal he had this year was a power play goal. Yeah. He got 1 goal this season. It was a power play.
I'm shocked. Honestly, I'm shocked. I'd love to see that again. It was probably, I don't know what it was. Here's the thing. I'm sure it wasn't anything that he did great. That's for sure.
I think it was the one that tipped off his foot. That he did have a power. He had, I'm trying to think. He had that power play goal. Was it against Vegas? Yeah, he had a power play goal on October the 24th against Vegas.
He was probably trying to kick it to another teammate and accidentally went in the net.
Oh, man, oh, man. It's funny, right? It's, momentum is a fickle thing. The Islanders had all the momentum, and then Mayfield takes that dumb penalty with a high stick, and now it looks like Chicago, I know on the power play, but Chicago looks like they're getting some momentum back their way.
Look, they got Kirby Doc. What's he, 19 years old? Or 20 years old. You got Strome in there. What's he, 21, 22? I mean, they're not afraid to play the young guys in Chicago. And you got Patrick Kane. I mean, here's the thing. Yeah, they have a lot of zone time, but they don't impress me on the power play. Doc's a big kid, though. He's a big kid. You can see him turn out to be something in the future. I mean, I don't know. I just look at younger teams.
Okay. Here we go.
Oh, my gosh. There's got to be a penalty on the goal scorer. Number 38, Mr. Nee. Dumb trip.
Well, here it is, Alex. We're going to have another power play coming up today. We're going to have another power play coming up as soon as we kill off or as soon as the 4-on-4 ends. That's one of those unfortunate ones, right? The stick gets caught between the skates, but it's fortuitous for us. We need to be able to capitalize.
And what did Dobson? Dobson kept moving his feet. You know who never would have been tripped in that circumstance? Andrews Lee, because he never moves his feet.
So another defenseman. Yeah, defenseman.
Never moves his feet. Those guys don't move their feet. You move your feet, you can't be beat.
Good gracious. Brett W saying, in all honesty, Ross looks better tonight so far than Martin has looked this year.
I'm not saying that Ross Johnson's looked great tonight, but Matt Martin's been abysmal this year. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, I know everybody loves Matt Martin, but his career's over. I'm
Holy
sorry.
shit,
Oh my
what a
gosh.
shot. My God. You want to talk about poor marking back on defense. Holy crap. I mean, Kirby
Ugh.
Doc had a chance really to bury that shot. And it was good zone entry by the Blackhawks and a good chance. Glad that I think Varlamov came up with a save on that one.
So calm. Noah Dobson's so calm back there. Just so calm. Took a body check, reversed the puck, goes back and gets it. Nice job, Dobson.
Michael T said if this team even sniffs the playoff, it's going to be a major feat.
Yeah, we're not making the playoffs. And it's not necessarily just points. See, there's Dobson attacking after dumping and chasing. No problem there at all. Where are the rest of the guys? It's like there's no rhyme or reason to the offense at all. None.
And this is on the power play, might I add, too. So
Yeah.
let's see if we can get some zone entry here with Matt Barzal. Hopefully, we're able to get some zone entry time and get the power play set up.
See, when things aren't working, it was beautiful play by Barzal, keeping it in the zone. And you see him out there with Wahlstrom right now. I think he needs to dump it in. I know Butch says dump and chase, dump and chase, dump and chase. But, at some point in time, you do have to do that. Wahlstrom has a couple of shots on the power play. He just like it. The kid's unconscious. He's not afraid to shoot the puck. How many guys does he just won't shoot the puck on the power play or period? He's not one of those guys.
Yes. I don't disagree at all. We do not have enough shooters or the guys with the shoot first mentality on the power play, which is another reason we do not score. But he's gotten a lot of those shots. And think about it, his wheelhouse that's pretty far out. Again, a lot of these
he's had 4 shots on this power play on this one shift. He's had
they're not afraid to put the puck on net, man. When you put the puck towards the net, you get redirections and fluky things happen where you could score.
Right.
Not put the puck on net.
I mean, I love Wahlstrom shooting the puck. I mean, we controlled it and just shoot it. When you shoot the puck, the other team can't just stand around and wait for you to do something. That's what we do. We're so stagnant on the power play most times because no one will shoot the puck that the defense doesn't have to defend anyone.
You got here Jeff E saying, Grumpy, quit picking on Zach Parise. He gives it all. He gives his all every night, more than a few regular Islanders do. Stop, Grumpy.
So just because he tries, that's good enough. There's guys in the AHL who try all the time too. Richard Panik tried just as much. Why is he not getting love? Why isn't he all the way on the first line? That's all it takes. Why is he down in the minors? He does just as much as Zach Parise, which is nothing. Nothing.
Hasso Toro says, I hope the Islanders score 3 goals tonight.
I hope they score 5 goals tonight. I hope they score 10.
Vanessa J saying, let's go Blackhawks.
Ooh. Someone from enemy territory in our midst. That's okay. We don't mind.
Angela N saying, I think we need to dump Barry and Lou. We've lost the team we're the worst team in the league.
Not true. I told you I was worried about Angela, right? I told you I was a little bit worried about her. I could feel she's come over to the dark side, but I think she's going too far. You can have a little bit of that dark magic, but you don't want to go full Darth Vader. You don't want to do that. Start killing all the young Jedi, stuff like that. You don't want to do that. So we are not the worst team in the league. Right now, Ottawa's below us, and so is
Arizona is terrible.
And Arizona. There you go. Those 2 teams are worse than us. So we're close, but not quite there.
You can argue and say right now we're a bottom 5 team. I would say, yeah, you're probably right, but
we're absolutely
not yet. Not yet. Meatball Parm says, I miss Derek Keene, Benoit Hogue, Steve Thomas, Ray Ferraro, and Pierre Turgeon.
That was from that 1992-93 run.
It absolutely was. Absolutely was, Grumpy old man. Well, real quick, we're at a commercial break. Let me go ahead. Grump, I've got to break out the ad before we get deep into it.
Do that so I can get something to eat.
Oh, look at that, Grumpy. How about this, Grump? I'll get the ad in. I'm gonna go ahead and then take a quick little break, Grump. I can't help it. I've been drinking a lot of fluids, and I know you're gonna ride me on it. But Grump, we do have an ad to read from Draftkings today. Football fans, I'm sure we've loved all. I'm sure we all love action-packed, high-scoring NFL games. But with the latest no-brainer from DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, you'll be a winner once a single point is scored. New customers who bet just $1 on any team to score can win $100 in free bets. It's as simple as that. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, you can still get in on all the NFL action. Everyone can play for huge cash prizes all season long with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports Contest. DraftKings is giving all new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes with their first deposit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the promo code THPN and bet $1 on any team to score and win $100 in free bets. If they score, you score with promo code THPN this week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. You must be 21 years or older in New Jersey, Indiana, or Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Minimum of $5 deposit. $1 wagers required. One per customer. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full details. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Ooh, Grumpy.
Well, let me finish chewing this food, then I'll take over.
Damn, Grump. Grump, let me ask you now. Do you use any dipping sauce on your chicken tenders? I'm a big dipping sauce type of guy. I'm more of a ketchup and barbecue sauce type of guy, Grump. So I'll be interested to hear if you like any dipping sauces on those.
No, I just eat my plain. I cook them up in the oven, I bake them up, and I eat them. It's just that plain and simple. Nothing extravagant.
That's what no flash and no pizzazz. Jeff E, you're getting your questions read right here, my friend. You just go ahead and comment them the same way you are currently, and we'll be able to see them. Sherwood9980 said, "You guys are idiots."
Thank you.
Thanks, Sherwood.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I don't know if he's an Islander fan or not, but he's probably one of the Glad-Hander Islander fans.
I'm saying he's probably one of those members who just think everything is sunny in Islanderstown. We can't look at the results of the Islanders until we're about to game 41. I've heard that from people who have media publications. Islanders, people who cover the Islanders, who have said we cannot look at the results and the games the Islanders or what the record is for the Islanders until game 41. No problem. We shouldn't even look at them. Shouldn't concern ourselves until halfway through the season what the Islanders record is.
So Ottawa, Arizona, Montreal, they're still all in the running for being Stanley Cup contenders, right? With that logic, I guess you could say that too, right?
Well, here's the thing. We're going to talk about the St. Louis Blues at this next intermission. And I see everybody talking, comparing us. Oh, man, we could just pull off exactly what the St. Louis Blues did. We're going to give you why that is not something that I foresee as being possible. It's it's an anomaly. It's how many times has that happened in the NHL history? You go into the trade deadline or near the trade deadline. Was it at January 1st? They were the worst team in the NHL, and then they came back to make the playoffs. So got another comment here. Doug R says, if anybody's saying to get 1 point is a positive, I'm going to lose my shit. If we get 1 point, that means someone else got 2.
True that.
Oh,
no
man.
problem at all.
Oh, God almighty. Oh, no. Pellick looks hurt. Holy shit, that's not good.
Well, there's another excuse for you.
Oh, Jesus. What did he get hit? Oh, God. He threw his stick immediately as soon as he got to the bench. I hope it's not like a broken hand or anything like that. Oh, God.
Oh, there's Chara. No risk of him making a play defensively.
Jeez Louise. Oh, man. Yeah. And NYR, Mike, yeah, you're right. The problem with the Islanders, a lot of their forwards are old. Yeah, the Islanders are a really, really old team. I hope Pellick goes back out there on the ice. I think, what did he take? Did he take a slap shot? Ooh, took a slap shot to the hand, or he took that shot to the hand.
Yep. Yep.
He's headed to the Islanders locker room.
Yeah. Well, they want to make
Only
sure.
a minute left in the period, so hopefully it's not like a broken thumb or something.
Well, yeah.
He's holding it worries me. He's holding it like this. I feel like it might be broken. The way he's holding it worries me.
All right, Dr. TJ. All right, let's just slow your roll and see what happens, okay?
I think by the way he's holding his wrist right there, I think he might have a concussion as well as a snapped femur.
My God. Look at Kirby Doc just outfoots Zdeno Chara for the puck. He's less than half of his age.
CJ Scoop said, we're in for a Detroit-style 6-year rebuild in a couple of years.
It's very, very possible. You know what? But if it is, it is.
I'll be back, Grump.
Okay, there's TJ going for his second piss break during the show. It's not even what's his excuse next? Oh, I guess it's close to the end of the period, so he has to go to the bathroom. He's trying to beat the Christmas rush, I guess. Just look at what we've seen the first two periods. Not a really great game, if you think about it. Kind of blasé. No one's really, neither team has really impressed me one way or the other, honestly. Chicago's had more of the offensive zone time, but have they really been a threat to score? I don't think so. I like the performance so far of Noah Dobson and Sebastian Aho. I thought they both played very well. On the offensive end for the Islanders, I really can't tell you anyone who's really stood out today. Barzell's had some moves. And even for Chicago, has anyone really, really impressed you? I mean, there's a reason why they have 8 wins and 12 losses. I guess they're still in the running too, though, because it's not the halfway point of the season. But do you really think Chicago is a threat to make the playoffs this year? I don't. I don't like how, the Islanders are somehow immune to being a bad team and being written off this early in the season where everybody else, who are bad, just because that's what they said at the beginning of the year, that, they are at risk for missing the playoffs, and we're not. I don't understand that at all, that logic. Nice to see Pajot score, though. Look who's back. Everything come out okay?
Yeah, everything came out just fine, Grub. Well, let me ask you this. I'm not sure if you had a chance when I was going to discuss the St. Louis Blues. I'm seeing a lot of people, because we discussed last podcast, you want about 95, 98 points is a safe mark. If you have 98 points, you're pretty much guaranteed a spot in the playoffs in a wild card position. And we talked about the road to 92, and that's how we came up with that arbitrary, hey, we need to have 14 points out of the next 10 games. Currently, out of that 10-game stretch, right? We only have 8 games remaining. We only have 2 points so far, but it's about the road to 98. Grump, let me ask you, what do you think about everybody comparing or saying that the Islanders can go ahead and make the playoffs and win the Stanley Cup? The St. Louis Blues did so 3 or 4 years ago. They were one of the worst teams in the NHL, and they were able to go ahead and put together a huge winning streak. They made the playoffs, and they won the Stanley Cup. What do you say about those type of thought processes, Grump?
Two different teams, right? St. Louis, what did St. Louis do differently in January? They fired their coach, and they had Binghamton come up and just be lights out the rest of the year. That's not happening here. We already have our goalie. St. Louis was able to score goals that year, and we're not replacing Barry Trotz. I just think you can't compare what happened in one organization 45 years ago, whenever it was, to what our situation is. They had a lot of younger players back then. We're an old team that's slow. Those players don't get better. It's not like you could all of a sudden skate better or compete harder or score better in your 30s than you do in your 20s. It's just not the way it works.
And here's the other thing too. People I think that are using that as a, hey, St. Louis did it. What's stopping us from doing it? I think that they're conveniently forgetting some of the factors that contributed to St. Louis's huge upswing. Right? They had a random AHL goalie at the time period in Jordan Binghamton who just got called up. They said, hey, buddy, our goaltending has been hideous so far. We're going to roll you out there. And Jordan Binghamton posted huge numbers. He was a fantastic goalie for them and still is. But, they had a big issue in net, and they just said, hey, we were able to find the answer from our AHL affiliate. Are there any guys in their AHL currently right now that you could say, hey, I'm expecting Jordan Binghamton type production out of them as a goal scorer? Oh, I'm expecting a guy that we can call it from the A that could score 25 or 30 goals the remainder of the season. I don't see one. And they also got rid of their head coach, and they brought in Craig Berube. We're not getting rid of Barry Trotz, nor should we. We're not going to have an overchange of system and style like the St. Louis Blues did that year too. I think the people that are saying, hey, we could have a St. Louis Blues type of a rejuvenation and bounce back, I think that you're forgetting a lot of the key elements that contributed to that St. Louis Blues real bounce back.
Yeah, and the thing that they're really missing is, what's the difference? They had talent, we don't. It's just that simple. To me, who are the guys who are performing with the Islanders right now? Is it the older veteran guys or the younger guys? Like I said, you see some of the young guys actually giving a shot to perform, and I think they're doing well for themselves. I think Kiefer Bellows has looked okay today. Matter of fact, more than okay. I think he's looked pretty good today. Look at the line. He's playing on the third line, right? I mean,
Mhm.
so what are you expecting from him? He's hustling up and down the ice. I mean, so he's Zach Parise like, right? I mean, for me, I think what we're going to see, hopefully, as the season progresses, and I just think that, like I said, I don't think we're making the playoffs. You have to see what you have. It's the same thing I said last year. You have to see what you have with the young guys to find out if they are part of the solution or if you need to move in another direction. We could find that a lot of these young guys that I've been saying, they're not good enough, maybe given some appropriate ice time, maybe they are good enough, and you can build from there. But I can tell you one thing, I'm going to guarantee it. You're not going to get any more growth from the older players. That's what you're not going to have.
And it's not like I'm going to say, "Hey, oh, it's because they're unfamiliar with the system. Oh, it's they're not used to playing Islander style hockey." There's only two guys we added from from last year to this year to our starting lineup on offense and defense that you can maybe even I'm talking about would make an excuse for of that caliber, right? But we're about 20 games into the regular season. There should be no, oh, I'm getting adjusted still to the system. I mean, the only guys we added are Chara and Parise. Everybody else has had experience playing the Islander style and the Islander system.
And they're 81 years old between them.
Yeah, and Michael T. Butch Goring had shoulder surgery, or he had shoulder surgery, so that's why he has been out. But he is okay. Um, but yes, go ahead,
If
Grump.
it was me, if I had shoulder surgery, it was been for pat myself on the back too much. That's why I have shoulder surgery. Tore my rotator cuff.
Uh-huh. Oh my goodness gracious. Come patting yourself on the back too much. Yeah. And then New York Rangers, Mike, I'll let you take this one, Grump. Islander fans, do you think the Islanders' age is now a factor?
Yes. I think it's been a factor for the last couple of years. We benefited from playing the COVID year, which we would not have even made the playoffs, and then having the shortened season last year when we fell apart down the stretch as well. We were able to regroup in the playoffs, different animal, of course, but older teams don't get better over time. They get worse. As I often say, players age like vinegar, not like wine. Three-quarters of the forwards on this team are 30 or older. It's not a recipe for success. And here's the thing, it's not even like they're skilled guys. It's not even like it's a Patrick Kane or a Sidney Crosby. They're just ham and eggers. That's why I call them Matty and the Jags.
Matty and the Jags. Donald W says here the Islanders need to make a change or to do something. They're not getting any luck on their side in these games.
Donald, it's not luck. They're getting outworked, out hustled. And here's the thing, I'm not even going to say they're getting out hustled. I just think that the collective has almost lost a half a step this year. They're being beaten to the puck, and they're not giving up. It's just they're getting beaten because they don't skate as well. That was the problem. When you're playing Islander hockey, you have to be able to hustle, dig in the corners, give everything you got every single shift. The older you get, the less you're able to do that.
Absolutely. I don't disagree, Grumpy. I don't disagree. And again, like we're a team that always had to play a fight for every single inch. And you've got some of those older players are not as fleet as foot on the defensive side of the puck, which allows for those easy zone entries. And I think it's allowed us to be hemmed in our zone more than we would like. We are a team that always benefited from a counter punch style of offense, right? When our team made a mistake, we'd be hemmed in our own zone. We were bend, don't break, and they would maybe have a barrage of shots on our goalie, but we were able to force everything from the outside, the periphery, or a lot of the shots never actually made it to the net because they were either blocked or they were, wide because they're taken from, hard to hit angles. And then as a team would be pressing so hard, getting frustrated playing the Islanders, saying, holy crap, we've been putting a whole bunch of pucks on that, but we just can't seem to get anything in. They would make an uncharacteristic mistake trying to go ahead and, to put the dagger in the Islanders' back. But in reality, that's when they're able to go ahead and launch that counter punch. And usually they'd score on it. We have not been able to do anything. That is the Islander style. We have not been able to do that this season, Grump.
Here's the thing. We're not even able to look at the ease. And Chicago is not a good team. I just have to keep on prefacing that. Chicago is not a good team. Look at the ease with which they get into our offensive zone for the most part, because our forwards can't keep up coming the other way. Just can't do it. because they're older. I mean, maybe in spurts we can do it, but for sustained pressure throughout the game, we're just not able to do it anymore. Put Michael's comment back up, the one that you had just before. I wanted to address that. Yes. Before you get rid of the players, we have to have a new system or a new coach. Absolutely not. These players are in their 30s. They're not getting, unless you're preparing them for a senior tour, they're done. You need new players, first and foremost, new players, without a doubt. You might need a new coach also, but I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, hey, are you going to be all in going with a new squad with younger players? And are you going to be willing to break them into the NHL system and develop them into a cohesive unit? And if Barry Trotz says, yes, I'm going to do it, I keep him as coach. If he says, no, I want to go with the same system we've been doing, I jettison him. It's just that plain and simple.
Yeah. Angela, yeah, well, I think we've covered this a little bit. Scott L saying, I put more blame on Lou because he's the one signing these old players. Barry has some blame, but he's just rolling out what Lou gives him.
I think that Lou talks with Barry and asks Barry what he wants. I think they work very well together, and I think that Lou Lamoriello gives Barry what he wants. I do believe that.
We've said that and we've agreed with it, Grump. I mean, like they're in unison. I've always thought the general manager and the head coach, and it's the reason why Barry and Lou have a good relationship. Anything they discuss, anything that Lou does, Barry's in full agreement with. Patrick V said, don't worry, the Islanders will lose against Ottawa. They probably can't beat the Bridgeport Islanders. I could see them finishing dead last.
I think that Barry's a better coach than Brent Thompson. The bigger here's the thing. I don't think we're going to lose to Ottawa. And I don't think we're finishing dead last either. But the biggest question is, Patrick, can you put Patrick's thing back up there? I'm a little distressed that you're choking that dog out. I don't think that's cool, man.
He's just a little cute dog over there.
What, he got him like in a headlock.
Oh, goodness, Grumpy. We haven't seen your dog in a while, Grumpy.
No, because I told you my house is like we're doing a lot of remodeling work, and so it's not been dog friendly. Let's just say that.
Jeremy Ford said oven mitts, Grumpy.
That's it, oven mitts. Shit, that is exactly what they are, oven mitts. That's exactly what they are. I don't know why I couldn't remember it.
Michael G said, it's hard to believe how some legit analysts at the beginning of the year were calling us Stanley Cup contenders.
It's because they're here's the thing. In their defense, they don't study every team. They just know, oh, look at the Islanders. They gave Tampa a tussle 2 years in a row. It's their chance to shine. No. All you do is pay any attention, and you knew that we weren't good enough. I thought we were lucky the last 2 years. If we had to play Tampa Bay in the first round the last 2 years and not somebody in our division, we would have been out after one round. If we had to play Carolina, we would have been out after one round. We just don't match up with certain teams. Those teams are the ones that give us that can be aggressive on the forecheck and have speed. They give us so much problems. Think about how we beat Chicago the first time, 4-1 going away, right? And we weren't even playing well then. And look at it now. We're in a dogfight at home. Do you remember, TJ, when I said to you, I don't know how much of a home ice advantage we're going to have to start? And you told me, boy, stupid, grumpy old man. You know what the hell you're talking about. It's definitely a home ice advantage. And we never even played there. Never even played there. And it looks like, what are we, 0-4-2 there? So, I mean, if you consider that home ice advantage, maybe we have different definitions of the term.
Oh, look at that. Taking a cheap pop. Here's the thing. I was going to be honest and true. I said that at the beginning of the year. I thought we were a Stanley Cup contender, and I thought we were a few pieces away. I really did believe that. I thought we needed a Tarasenko, a top line winger, right winger, in order to actually add some offensive punch. And I thought we did have holes on this team. For people who didn't think we had holes, those are your people that you knew that they were living in la la land. I thought we were a Stanley Cup contender just because we did make it to back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals. I was not in the belief that, okay, everything fell right for us both 2 years, and it looks more and more like that is the case. Just to be fair and honest on that side. But I don't even remember what your first comment was for me, Grump, trying to throw me under. Oh, talking about home ice advantage. The struggle at home ice has been concerning. That's where we really were dominant last year at the Coliseum, 21-3-4. and 0-4-2 so far at UBS Arena as of right now. We have to start winning some games at home, and we're going to have a dominant record on home ice going forward.
So if we go 23-0-2 the rest of the way, then we're right where we were last year, right? At the Coliseum. What do you think the chance of that happening are?
Not good. Not
I'm
good.
just going to say, the old saying, slim and none, and Slim just left town. Or he could
Michael
be, Slim could leave after this period.
Michael M went ahead and made one of these, Grumpy, and I want to show it to you. I know how much you love analytics, but it's talking about it's talking about how when you get older, you don't continue to increase your WAR. That's your wins above replacement. And you see Matt Barzal's kind of at the peak there of WAR. Oliver Wahlstrom is actually pretty good on WAR, and you're starting to see some of these other players here. Again, there's a whole bunch of Grump. I'll be honest. When I see something like this, I'm just like, yeah, I don't really get, like. There's a lot going on the screen for me.
Here's the thing. I play the stock market. That's not good. I'm just telling you right now. That's not a good look. I'm just telling you. The older you get, the worse you get. I could have told you that. I didn't need any Michael, love you to death, by the way. But and he knows I don't need that. I just use my eyes. When a player looks like a piece of shit, I call him on it. And it's his thing. It's not surprising to me. I couldn't tell you how shitty Josh Bailey was on a scale, but it looks appropriate to me, honestly.
Oh, good gracious, Grump.
That's the only time I agree with analytics is if they back up what I see with my eyes.
I just thought you would enjoy it there. Peter S. saying, Palmieri's getting some good chances. He's playing hard tonight.
You know what? For $5 million a year, I could do what he does. Well, probably not, but my plan.
I'm going to say probably not.
Yeah,
Dawson P said, "Hey boys, I got $100 on the Islanders. Well, I hope not to win the cup. $100 maybe tonight to win. But
I hope they win. Well, okay, not just because you bet on them. We're always rooting for the Islanders to win, but I mean, just look at this: 15 shots on goal, 14 shots on goal. I mean, it's just been a blah 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 game. Really, it has not been a good game. Boring.
It hasn't. I'll tell you. We've had a little bit of offensive zone time, where we kind of controlled things, but this has not been a game where we've looked dominant at all. So, at least, you talk about feathers in your cap and hope and like signs of optimism when you're losing or a game's tied and close, but you look dominant. Like, hey, every single shift you're out there, you look like you are a real threat to score. You're getting a lot of offensive zone time. Okay, it's not as bad. Right? A 10-game losing streak doesn't look as bad. Maybe then you could say maybe the bounces aren't going our way. When we don't look very dominant on the ice, it's a different story for me.
I'm looking at Michael, the New York Ranger Michael, Fort never win for the Islanders. Cheap shot. I mean, that's what happens when, and I don't mind Michael being on. I enjoy it. I've seen a couple of things in the chat where people say, get rid of Michael. I'm like, no, just post his comments up there. I'll take care of him. Don't worry.
Comfort, take care. Alexander said, "Hey guys, tuning in late, watching the game, taking care of my wife. She had to be rushed to the hospital 2 nights ago. But she'll be home tomorrow. Overall, not a bad first period. Need to keep pushing."
Yeah, tell her we wish her well. Hopefully, nothing serious. Alexander, is just that she had mental anguish from living with you. I hope that's all it was, and that she just needed a little tune-up in the hospital. Just playing, of course. Hope she's doing well.
Absolutely.
Tell her we're thinking of her.
Absolutely are. Brendan M saying here, Mr. B saying, if the Islanders ever win a Stanley Cup, will you drop the grumpy part in your handle?
No. Nope. The old man just doesn't have the same ring to it.
The old man. Peter S said, I'm a diehard Rangers fan, but the season is still young. Please don't jinx us, bro.
Yeah, as far as the Rangers concerned, nice to see Pellick back out there.
Mike, I'll tell you, I see a lot of these people tuning in to try to be a little troll. Oh man.
That's okay.
I always would love to see.
I don't blame him. The Rangers have been miserable for how many years now? They're playing well to start the season. He's allowed to chirp. That's okay. That's okay.
I was about to say he's had to take such a pounding for so many years in a row now. I'm sure he's got to be all loud and boisterous. He's got to puff his chest up a little bit.
That's okay. They're not beating anybody who's really good in the playoffs. They will make the playoffs, though. I really believe they will. Gerard Gallant, excellent coach, but they're not good enough defensively to win a Stanley Cup.
No,
they long way to go in that regards. And I think Gallant's a great coach. Well, okay, he's really good, just like Barry Trotz is.
He's a really good regular season coach, and he's a guy who can never win it in the big moment. But that's what Gallant is. He gets you to the next level. He's a stepping stone coach. What a
He's like
film
Wayne
said.
Vigneault. He did that with the Rangers too, didn't he? Did it with
Oh,
Vancouver. Just
ooh, there it is.
close enough, but not good enough to get you over the hump. That's got to be the worst. Losing the finals is like the worst. You're so close. Better than not making it at all, I think.
Oh, look at that, Grumpy, taking a little shot at the Ranger fans. What a film said. Hope you win, Dawson. I like the way Paul Mary's been playing too.
That's woulda.
Adam Pellick is back on the bench. Thank goodness.
I saw him come out. He was flexing the old thumb, ready to go. I guess he didn't break it. Guess he didn't break his thumb, Dr. TJ.
Hey, I thought he had a concussion, a snap femur, a dislocated elbow joint, everything you could possibly have.
It's you young people are all alike. I swear. You see, oh, it's got to be this. Blah, blah, blah. You know what? Why don't we wait 10 minutes and see what happens? Give it.
It's a Booby Miles injury. He's done for his life.
Booby Miles injury. And for those who don't know Booby Miles, he was
a running back
player in Friday Night Lights, the original book and the movie starring Billy Bob Thornton. And he wound up getting a knee injury. And my son came to me and he said, Dad, guess what?
Already moving it right along there. Alexander said, I like when I saw
you gonna blow me off of my damn story, man.
Well, okay, go ahead with your son, Grumpy. Come on.
And I've told TJ this before. He goes, and he was young. And he goes, oh, he had a Booby Miles injury. He's done for his life. So that's just a running joke all the time now. Go ahead, DJ.
Okay, Grumpy. Alexander said, I like what I saw from Bellows. And of course, Wahlstrom. Trotz has to put them together with Barzal.
Yeah, I wouldn't be okay. He'd never put Bellows and Wahlstrom with Barzal. I think he'd spontaneously combust on the bench if he did that. But I could see him putting him out there with Pavillier and Wahlstrom. Why not? And I always think that Bellows, what are those players' skill set? They're top 6 scoring wingers. Burying them on the 3rd and 4th line does nothing for them and nothing for your team. That's why you don't try to jam guys into roles that their skill set is not dictative of. I mean, but that's Barry Trotz, right? That's what he is.
Yeah, I'll tell you. So now we've got the 3rd period going on. What are the keys to winning the period, Grumpy Old Man? This is a game the Islanders desperately need to win. We can't come away with a consolation point and another overtime loss. But Grump, what are the keys to win this period?
Sit Char on the bench, because anytime the puck goes in the corner, he's got to chase it. He loses it every single time. That's a key. That, to me, that's a huge key. Limit him to 30 minutes ice time in the 3rd period. Give him the Noah Dobson approach. Don't play him in the 3rd period.
You mean 30 seconds of ice time?
Yeah, because he's already been on for 30 seconds.
So, you said 30 minutes.
30 seconds. I'm sorry. But give him the Dobson approach. And that's you sit him the whole 3rd period. That's what I would do.
Mr. B said, do you think we would have won the cup by now if Lou and Barry were at the helm in 2014-15?
We would have had a better chance. I'm not saying we would have won, but we would have had a better chance. Why? Because all the guys were young at that point, right? So they could grow in the system. The whole thing was just as the players really learned the system, they aged out. Whereas if this was happening when they're 24, 25, 26, you get 2-3 years in the system. Now you're in your prime, and maybe you could get over the hump. Like I said, we're all on the downside now.
Vinny Smith. I'm liking that costume of a guy flexing his muscles in a traffic cone with Josh Bailey on the face of the guy of the image. I'm loving it, Vinny Smith.
Josh Bailey is not a traffic cone. He's one of those guys who hangs on to, like a little kid who's like 4 years old learning how to skate. They hold on to the wall. That's Josh Bailey.
Eve L says here, how is the battle level tonight, guys?
Okay, it's just I mean, you're seeing 2 bad teams playing one another. No one has really stuck out for the most. I don't think anyone's really stuck out for the most part, except for a couple of the younger defensemen. I think who played well. I focus on them, though, to be honest with you. And there's Chara throwing the puck.
Did he catch a penalty for that? Oh no, thank God.
Yeah,
I know they were referring. I know they were talking to each other, but man, oh man, yikes!
Look at him.
He said that's close. Yeah, I'm reading here. That's close to being a penalty right now. I think they're talking about it. Oh, Chara, he's done that more than once this season too.
Yeah. Well, he certainly didn't hit anything. Let's
Yeah,
see.
that should be a penalty. Oh, did it oh, hold on. Did it hit the bench? Did it not actually clear and go into the stand?
Well, I think it cleared, but did it go over the top of the bench was what they're saying.
Phew. Close. Close to being a penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matthew C saying they're not gonna hire Fredo. Malkin will not hire Lamoriello's son.
I hope so. I don't want to see Fredo anywhere near that stadium, that arena.
Yeah, nowhere near the arena. Yeah, but keys to winning this third period. I think I asked you a few times, but I know it's been a whole bunch going on. But Grump, what's the keys to winning this period?
Yeah, we need to be aggressive in the forecheck. We need to have bad. I mean, it's hard. It's hard. The game is so disjointed. This is how we've played all year. We need to get back to playing Islander hockey, which we've done maybe once this year. I mean, that's it. And right now, Char is a liability on the back end. He's honestly a liability on the back end. I just don't understand why Trotz just leaves him out there all the time. I don't understand. We need to get better in our gap control coming back in. We can't let Chicago walk in. We need to have more. We need to have more pressure on the goaltender and shoot the damn puck. I'm gonna tell you what, Calvin DeHaan did something really freaking nice.
Yes, I was just about to mention that.
Yeah, I've dumped on Calvin DeHaan a long time. The guy threw the jersey over to Calvin DeHaan to sign.
It's an Islanders Calvin DeHaan jersey, and an Islander fan wanted him to sign a Calvin DeHaan jersey for him.
Yeah, and he signed it during the game. Good for him. I mean, maybe it was during a commercial timeout or whatever it was, but good for him. Kudos to Calvin DeHaan, honestly. We're having a hard time getting out of our zone right now. We're just not a good team. And here's the thing, Chicago's not a good team. Next goal wins. I'm telling you, it's next goal wins as far as I'm concerned.
That's 100% right. Here it is, though. Right, the Islanders are if you don't go ahead and if you give up a goal or two, it's tough for the Islanders to win because we just don't score goals in droves. Our goals a game are still well under 2 so far this season. It's not good.
Ugh, nice. I mean, I tell you what.
Nice wraparound attempt by Anders Lee.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, but it was a nice pass. I think it was, I don't know who the defenseman was, down to Barzell, and then Barzell to Lee. Nice save by Fleury. At least we're showing a little bit of hustle, but I mean, we're just so slow. Mayfield. It was Mayfield who makes the pass to Barzell. Beauty setup. Oh, I'm sorry. Lee just missed the net. I thought Fleury made the save. My mistake.
He missed both. He missed the net on both those attempts. My God. And here's the thing. Anders Lee's had some huge struggles this season. 4 goals on the year. I know we got COVID, but still, my God almighty, he's a guy who needs to produce. Like,
okay.
On the first line, you got to score goals.
Let's just get that he had COVID out of the vernacular because he sucked before he got COVID. If anything, he's better now since he had COVID. That's how bad he was earlier in the year.
Oh, good. What a film said. Maybe Bailey scores tonight, Grump. I've got a feeling. You better get your T-shirt out.
Woo-hoo. Yeah, I'd be stunned if Bailey scored. Stunned.
Helen Yeller said, yeah, seats on the secondary market in the upper level are selling for $9 a seat.
That's pretty good. I don't know what they charge for the other, probably $70 for a service charge. That ridiculous shit.
Oh my God, Chara. Yikes. He's so slow, and he's so slow and lumbery with the puck. God almighty, he's so slow and lumbery with the puck out there. He turned over in our own zone, and here we go. Let's see how this. Holy shit. The Islanders looking disarray.
They just, honestly, the Chicago just skating. Oh my God. I mean, think about it. They just walked in the zone. Strong.
We give up our blue line way too freaking easily. You have got to put up a fight at the blue line. You cannot allow teams to enter your zone with no freaking effort.
Okay, why do you think they give up the zone so easy? Okay, they're in a change. Bellows is coming out as attacking guy. It's just a backup. Oh my God,
Varley, you gotta freaking save that volume off. Holy shit. You've got to come up with a save on that. And they're going to blame Aho. You watch them blame Aho.
Right. It'll be Aho. Yeah. I mean, okay, Aho makes a pass to Strome. It was a good pass. Let's give him credit. But here's the thing. They'll blame Aho for the reason why the Islanders lost today, which is absolute horseshit. I'm sorry.
You can't be beat short side.
My question would be,
can't be beat short side, man.
I would say, my question was, Barry, if he says something like, well, Aho cost the game, said, well, why do you feel like you deserve to win that game today, Barry? I mean, you created like 0 offensive chances this year. Do you think just having a game where everybody skates back and forth and turns the puck over, this is one of the worst teams in the league you're playing against?
You know what it's also like? It's like in football when you're playing a game and you lose 14 or you lose 10-7 and you're blaming the defense. Oh, well, our defense gave up, they gave up an 80-yard touchdown pass. They lost mental focus on that one and they made a mistake and it wound up resulting in a goal. You scored 7 freaking points. You got your ass handed to you. Your offense needs to be able to generate ability. Your offense needs to be able to generate chances. We have not been scoring enough goals. The problem is not the defense. And here's the thing. Even though that's probably one Varlamov wants back, it was still a hell of a shot. The problem isn't goaltending. Giving up 2 goals, you should still, a normal team would expect to win a freaking game when you're giving up only 2 goals. But the way the Islanders play, we don't score enough goals to where if we go down 2, we feel confident that we could win.
I can't even be. I'm not. It's like, you notice I'm not really angry.
Yeah.
I mean, we just see
Is
the
that depression setting in?
What? No.
Okay.
You just see the same thing night after night, and it's like, I guess it's acceptance, right? Bargaining, depression, whatever all those things are. And for me, am I surprised? No. And we were just talking about the ease with which teams enter our zone. And just another example. And I say, well, why is that the case? Maybe when your team can't skate, they have to play back. They can't be aggressive on the forecheck. They can't do it because they get caught up. They get burned coming the other way. I mean, maybe it's just as simple as that.
Grump, I want to apologize to you. I did not know people were asking you. Mr. B was saying he wanted to hear you do some play-by-play. I apologize. I did not know that I officially apologize to you, Grumpy. I didn't know people were asking
like to hear a little play-by-play. Otherwise, it's just a regular podcast.
I apologize. I was getting caught up. Again, this is only our second or third time doing this, so I really don't know what it is just quite yet when we do the live streams during games. So I'm working at it, Grump. I apologize, but I'll let you do what you want there. Helen Yeller says,
I think this show should be myself doing these watch-alongs should be alternate commentary. That's what I think it should be. When you're seeing guys skate up and what you're seeing out there. Like I thought nobody's going to say how Barry was pointing to his muscle, think he's tough, or that the guy got punched out in a bar last night, the referee. Nobody's talking about that. Just the TJ and the grumpy old man. That's all. And Brenda Cat comes right in. And okay, I'm sorry. Do we look like we have a chance? I mean, last year, even though we were not a great scoring team, you always felt like we had a run in us. It just doesn't seem like that anymore.
Yeah.
Grump XD. I don't know what that means.
That means he's laughing. That's a laughy face, Grumpy.
Oh, okay.
LOL, Grump, with he's laughing like he's dying. Holy shit.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what the hell it means. I don't know any of those terms. You know that.
Oh, man.
Look at how deep. Oh, I'm serious. Right now, it's like, and there's Bailey. There's trying a baseball swing. Of course, what do you think the result of that was? He looks like
you're gonna miss.
That's right. He looked like Dave Kingman. Oh, who was that? Oh, geez. Mayfield throws a puck right out in front of the net. You know what they're saying? We don't want Varlamov playing the next game. He doesn't give as good a chance as Sorokin. We're going to try to make it turnover, give up 4 or 5 goals. That's what it looked like to me, honestly.
But here's the thing, right? You give up a goal there, Aho, and everybody say, Aho sucks. Aho played like shit. Okay, how many times did I see bad turnovers by Mayfield that just didn't result in a goal against, but awful turnovers right in front of our own net? Same thing with Chara, too. The issue is not the defense. The issue is the inability to score. And I'm not sure how many more different ways. I don't know any other languages, Grump, but if I knew another language, I'd be saying it in other languages because it's not hitting into people's heads yet because it's not what the talking heads, the pundits are saying, right? They're giving every excuse under the book and they'll blame that one little segment of, oh, Sebastian Aho made a bad play right there. And
do you want to know the player?
Snipe and, Varley had no chance.
Do you want to know the player who drove the puck in initially that led to that goal, the go-ahead goal, was our pal Gustafson, who was with our team in the preseason on PTO. So he's paying dividends for the Islanders right now. That's what they paid for him.
Jeez Louise. Andrew L. said, should we go center or winger in the draft?
All I want to say is I saw Johnston and Clutterbuck do the Veloci crunch on somebody in the corner in Chicago's end. I don't know who it was.
What's
what
the Malachi Crunch?
the Valachi Crunch was from Happy Days years ago. They had the Fonz was entered in a demolition derbies against a whole bunch of guys and the Valachi brothers, and they had something called the Valachi Crunch, where one guy would kind of tie a guy up, the other would hammer him from behind, and they gave him the old Valachi Crunch right there.
Oh, Malachi.
Valachi.
It's Malachi because I just pulled it up. I'll pull
Okay,
up.
Malachi. Okay.
I saw it. I was like, I was trying to do Valachi Crunch all over the place.
Look at two guys. Who are the two guys fighting in the corner? There's Clutterbuck got away with a cross check. Chara doing what the hell let's see. Will he get the puck strip? Hey, he actually cleared the puck. Good job for Chara. There's a first. Cleared the puck tonight. There you go. Just when you think things can't get any worse or any better, Chara clears the puck. That's it. The Malachi brothers. Think about it. Look at them. Look at their ages over there. Right? Now think about it. They used to hang out with teenagers. What'd you call guys who were like in their looks like late 20s, early 30s, hanging out with TJs? What would you call them? I call them losers.
Teenagers? Yeah, I'd call them losers. Yeah.
Yeah. You think about Fonzie, man, he was so cool. Yeah, he looked cool because he was hanging out with kids in high school when he was like in his mid-20s. And he was picking up high school girls. You know we call people like that today?
Pedophiles.
That's exactly right. Back then it was cool. Hey, I want to see Pinky Tuscadero again. Okay,
let me go ahead and get that pulled up. You just keep
yeah, because man,
Tuscadero. What type of name is that?
Hey man, that's the show, man. What can I tell you? And then she had Susie Quattro played Leather Tuscadero when she was had a singing career. So they had her go out there and be on that show for a while.
Pinky Tuscadero. It looks
Pinky Tuscadero, man. She used to wear those really high shorts and that little tie, and then she used to hang out with the Fonz. See, there you go. Yeah, they were the it couple for a while. Pinky Tuscadero. Gotcha. But back to the action. We're into the final 10 minutes now. The Islanders look just as much upset as they have all night, which is to mean not at all. Andy Green turns the puck over. Nice job trying to make a cross-ice pass from his own zone. And Varlamov does make a save on number 16. Nice job. There's Green pretending to play.
I want you to read this comment real quick.
Bailey. Let's go, Bailey. We believe in you. Grumpy secretly loves your skills. Thank you very much, Woody. I tell you what, that made me laugh.
I figured it would, so I wanted to drag your attention for a second.
Oh, Vinny Smith, our pal, he should give us. Well, I guess it has to be readjusted now. Instead of the Bailey bobblehead day, let's have a Bailey traffic cone night. I'm not going to say Bailey's a traffic cone. At least he moves a little bit. He's useless, but he's like one of those guys who like works in an office, but doesn't really do anything. But it seems like he does. Like you'll see him. Oh, he's over there. He's over there. Well, what does he do? Oh, I don't know, but he was over there.
I think he works in the accounting department. Oh, I think he sorts the mail. I think he does now. He's on.
Looks like he's involved. He looks like he's involved, but he's not.
The Islanders are going to the power play. Huge power play, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to score on this, right?
I want to say that I hope I'm wrong in the last prediction I made that the next goal wins. I hope that I was wrong on that, and maybe we can prove the point by scoring a goal right here.
Grump, we just hit 400 subscribers on YouTube, Grumpy. Little congratulations. There it is, Grump. Thanks everybody who supports the podcast and the show. We again very much appreciate your support and your viewership and your interaction here on this. I know Grumpy and I certainly do.
And I like people that like that when we do the alternate play-by-play, because as you can take the dictator that is known as TJ doesn't like me to do that. I just want to say thank you to the people who support that type of thing, just to shove it up TJ's butt just a little bit.
You sound like Butchie is what I worry about as you go. Blah, 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 blah. I just feel like you might have a Butchieism where I'm no Brennan. I'll tell you that much. So it's like
that's true. He has nice hair.
Look at that shit. I swear to God, Grump. You throw plenty of punches. Mr. B said, I'm worried about losing Barzal. Barzal isn't going to wait around if you need another 5 years to rebuild. I'd trade him for Connor.
For me, what I do for him, let's see this penalty here. Oh, man, I tell you what, that's pretty much a weak
call. What's the call? What? Okay, and then Wahlstrom slashes him in the knees. What the hell is the call on that?
The
Malachi Crunch.
There's the Malachi Crunch. There it is on number 22. Took the Malachi Crunch. I bet you didn't hear that on the broadcast Nobody ever says the Malachi brunch on the crunch on the broadcast. That's what if you want people to watch that show, bring up stuff like that.
The Malachi crunch.
Why is Michael battling with the Ranger guy?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
There's no need to.
Yeah.
It's time to take out the I'd never listen to a Ranger podcast. Would if they have one? Well, I wouldn't listen to a Ranger.
Wonder if they have one, Grump.
Does it matter? It's probably not any good.
Not as good as TJ and the Grumpy Old Man for certain.
That's for certain. That's for certain.
Man, I'm telling you.
See, dump
the freaking puck, Maddie.
Dump it in. Stop trying to feather it. You're not skilled enough to win on skill alone. Dump the freaking puck in and outwork your opponent.
That was Matt Barzal, Grumpy. But yes.
I know who it was. Oh, see, there he is. I mean, they got Wahlstrom out there, and there's where Lee should be. Stand in front of the net, hopefully getting a rebound. This is the power play they need to have. Honestly, this is what they need to have. Barzal, Wahlstrom, Dobson up top, put the totem pole in front, and whoever the useless bastard Palmieri, who cares if he's out there? The one guy I don't want to see out there is Josh Bailey. He's the one guy I don't want to see out there. I have no problem at all with this particular power play. Why? Because that kid will shoot the damn puck. How are you going to score on the power play? What do you got to do? Got to shoot. He's not afraid to shoot. Guess who's out there now? Captain Pass. Let's see if he takes a shot.
Oh, my God.
Nope.
Just like gets intercepted.
Nope. He does one of those Bailey soft ice cream specials. Just floating it out there. He'll pass over Josh Bailey. Will he drive the net? Nope. Another pass back. There's a shock. Aho, let's see. Nope, he passed it to Bailey. You know what that means.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And Parise almost has a chance in front of the net, but he just misses.
I mean, will Bailey shoot the puck? Will he shoot the puck? Nobody near him. No, nobody even there. Fuck. I'm sorry. What has he done to deserve any ice? Shoot the puck, you piece of shit, Bailey. Shoot the puck. Fucking piece of
He shoots, Grumpy. Bailey shoots.
Finally.
Oh, look at that.
Finally.
He finally shoots.
And then he turns it over.
Oh, man. And the power play expires. Andrew L. said, Pajot for Vince Dunn this offseason. I think Pajot is damaged goods. I know he scored today off the redirection, but I don't think Pajot's had an overly fantastic first half of the season. I'm worried that he might not have enough tread on the tires. Vince Dunn is young, too. Vince Dunn's 24, 25 years old.
Why would they trade him? Why would you trade a young defenseman? Who would trade a young defenseman, 25 years old, for a couple of second-round draft picks? Who would do something stupid like that? Oh, that's right. Lou Lamoriello. Thanks.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Mike L. said, Grumpy, who have you coached? They don't like the criticism you're giving to Barry Trotz, and Barry Trotz has coached before, and you have not.
I've coached baseball, actually, and a couple of kids who were real close to getting into the majors, actually. So, yeah, I've coached. Not hockey. I have not. But I can tell a good coach from a bad one. That much I can tell you. A good coach doesn't try to force his players to do something that they're not capable of doing, or takes them a player who has a certain type of talent and just says, screw it. I don't care. That's your talent. We're going to try to turn you into something else. That's not what you do. And my team's always, and I mean freaking always, won. Always.
Angela N said, can the press ask better questions after these games? Like, why aren't you playing the younger guys more? I know Andrew Gross finally. Whoa, come on. That was a freaking fantastic pass by, I think that was a fantastic pass by Anders Lee to Palmieri. He just
Palmieri couldn't get there. He couldn't get there.
I thought he just lost his edge.
No, he couldn't get there. It was too much out in front of him. Here's the thing. I'm not necessarily going to blame Lee. Maybe Palmieri just couldn't get there. I mean, has Varlamov had any work? I don't know. Has he had any work in the third year?
We'll just do this every once in a while. I'll post up the stats every once in a while so they could see more of your reactions. Thanks there, Meatball Parm, for the suggestion. I think that's probably the better way to do it going forward, is so we're not just having us in a little small portion, but you're talking about how many saves has Varlamov had. He's only faced 19 shots tonight, so he's only got 17 saves.
I think they've had 5 shots. I think they were up 5 shots to 4. Or is that how many shots have we had?
Shots
Okay,
on
the
goal,
Islanders.
20.
Okay, so they've had the Blackhawks have had 5 shots this period. So have the Islanders. So, I mean, that's not a whole lot of shots with how much, 4 minutes to go? It's not a
Yeah.
whole lot of shots on goal.
You would
That's the
think
whole game, though.
you would think that when you're down in the third period, you would try to generate some offense and generate some goals, but we only have still 5 shots in the entire period.
Engage the defense, press the action, do something. Do something. It's like they're just happy, just skating around the park. We win, we lose, we lose. That's okay.
Oh, good gracious, good gracious. I tell you. And Peter S. saying here, the problem is Trotz does not give the Islanders rookies enough minutes to play. We're lucky to have Gerard Gallant as the coach for the Rangers.
Really true, because Gallant was like that when he was with Florida for certain, and even to a certain extent in Vegas, different situation, the expansion team. But he certainly worked with the young guys in Florida, without a doubt. And we said he'd be a good fit for the Rangers, if you remember, TJ.
Yeah, we did. The thing is, you could tell from a mile away. Like I thought that Barry Trotz was, when he originally came here, was everything the Islanders needed. A guy who was a fantastic with the defensive system. I honestly never could have dreamed Barry Trotz would have as much success as he did with us for the first 3 years that he was there. I never, in my wildest dreams, ever could have imagined that. But he's been fantastic, result-wise through the first 3 years. Kind of needs to make an adjustment to play younger players. And I think, we wouldn't see us drowning. Because right now it's like we're a kid that doesn't know how to swim that's been thrown in the deep end of the pool, sinking to the bottom. But, man, that was a good chance just unable to execute on.
Just can't catch a break either.
James F. Hello, how are you today? Oh, Angela N saying, is Tortorella available? Only kidding.
Yeah, he's not a fit for this team. He's not a fit for this team.
Tony Cheese said, best quote from TJ, Grumpy, you're a little grumpy today.
See how creative he is, Tony? So creative.
Grump, I'm not the creative one, man. I'm just one of the cogs in the wheel. You are the creative one.
Yeah, you're trying to shackle my creativity. You're like Barry Trotz, and I'm like Matt Barzell or Oliver Wahlstrom. That's what it's like. You're always trying to shackle me, stop me from being productive. You want to jam my round circle into your square hole or whatever it is.
Jesus, that sounded odd. But yeah, Grumpy, you know what? I'm like a third line grinder, Grump. You're the Matt Barzal of the podcast. We all know that.
Well, Grumpy. I'm not Matt Barzell, but I'm not a fourth one. I'm not a benchy like you are. That's for sure.
EG Agent said, sup, I'm new here. What's up, EG Agent? Hopefully you'll stick around to check out some more Islanders action. And you can check out TJ and the Grumpy Old Man, the General Sports Podcast. We often talk about the Dallas Cowboys, a lot of NFL, college football, college basketball, MLB, and hockey and soccer news. You can find the link to TJ and the Grumpy Old Man, the General Sports Podcast, that happens Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, in the link in the description below. So make sure to check that and give that a follow for certain.
And I just want to say that on that particular podcast, Alexander does a great job providing us with fan fight segment, which we get to critique fan fights in the stands. What's the root cause analysis that provokes that fight, and who could do something a little bit better, how they could do it worse, and a little play-by-play too.
Absolutely. The Islanders, as we were going through that, have really had quite a few chances and unable to get a shot on that, but hell of a lot of pressure, but not getting the shots on that.
It seems like none of their shots are getting through. And again, Matty B, all right, he stole that puck, but I mean, he turned it over, and it's like you got to get the puck in deep. You got to get it in deep. Let Average Anders go and chase it in the corner. Stop trying to dipsy doodle. I know you're good at that, but don't do it. Here's Dobson. Takes the puck in, drives it in. I love that kid. There's Aho shooting the puck. Is it a mistake?
Oh, God almighty. Hell of a save.
Nice
of a save on the breakaway.
Big save, Varley.
Oh, my God. Please clear the puck.
Oh, 2 big saves right there. I'm going to tell you what. He was sliding back into the net, though, which always makes me worried with him. When he starts crawling into the net, usually means trouble's afoot. But 2 big saves to keep us on the game the last minute and 30 seconds. Still having trouble getting out of the zone. Pajot up forward, flubs the pass a little bit, but we're into the zone now. And once again, instead of dumping it into the corner, we wind up throwing it right to center ice and gets picked off. Pellick, for some reason, is now an offensive juggernaut for the defense. He's out there. Wallstrom's out there. That is average. Turning
And
the
we've
puck
got the
over
goalie
again.
pulled. We do have the goalie pulled as well, Grumpy. We have got to put the puck on net. Still haven't. Oh, Jesus. Gotta put the puck on net, guys.
Yep. And there's Barzell. I'd love to have him have a nice shoot the puck, fellas.
That's got to be
It's just,
Wahlstrom. If I'm looking
yeah.
at a spot,
Well,
yeah, there's Wahlstrom.
but here's the thing: is he the only guy on the team? How many shots does he have today? How many shots is Walsh? He's got to have at least 10 shots today.
I can pull that for you. Give me a sec.
I mean, don't you think that you'd want to have? Well, maybe we don't have four offensively gifted forwards out there, but wouldn't you just want to have at this point in time one defenseman and 5 offensive players? Wouldn't you?
Wahlstrom has 3 shots on that. He did have a hell of a lot of shots, but not many on target.
Okay.
And oh Jesus, dude, Pellick had. I mean, Marc-Andre Fleury was well out of sorts without his stick, and Adam
An
Pellick
offensive player
and just drills it right into his chest.
Yeah, an offensive player picks a corner there. That's not what he is, though. That's not what he is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, look at this. Bailey is going to be out there. Well, that you don't have to worry about him shooting the puck. So it's like 5-on-5 again with that piece of shit out there.
And EG agent, no, Casey Cizikas is not back. Now he's still out with COVID protocol.
Yeah, we don't know if he's sick or not. Nobody else has been sick, even though that's what they're trying to push, that narrative. So that's why they're playing poorly.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Meatball Parm says gooey meatball parm.
Yeah, there you go.
Good, man.
There you go. There you go. And the whole thing is you got to cook it in the carafe. Why? Because the last thing you want to do is cook it on top of the bread. Then the bread gets too soggy. Or if you slide it into the toasted bread right on top, man, that's good. That's the way to do it. That's the way to roll. I'm telling you right now.
I tell you, you're making me hungry. I haven't eaten dinner. You're making me hungry, Meatball Parm.
Yeah, he hasn't eaten dinner, but I'm not allowed to eat dinner, as people have known.
Grumpy, have I complained once about you eating dinner on the show?
You told me before the show you make too much noise. Nice clearing attempt stopped by who was it? I think it was Barzell. Stopped it. Okay. You got Dobson over to Barzell. Back to Dobson, who shoots.
Get it.
Oh, the saves. Fleury's come up big here in the last couple of minutes. Let's be honest, right?
Both goalies have come up big here the last few minutes. They seem like they're kind of dialed in.
But I mean, are they really high danger chances? I mean, it looks like Chicago's just collapsing around the net. It's like they got 4 guys just kind of around the net. See if you can beat us. Okay, let's see. Oh, wait, what was that last comment? It looked like 1979. I remember those years. 1979, we got revenge, beat them number 1. That's right, for certain. They beat us, and then they wound up shitting the bed against Montreal and losing. They won the first game and then got their asses swept. That's true. That was the year that John Davidson was unconscious against us in the playoffs. I like John Davidson, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But here it is, man. We got 30 seconds left here to make a count. I'll tell you. Wow. Could you imagine if the Islanders lose? The freaking wheels will fall off. Jesus Christ.
I feel like we might score here. And Chicago's just blocking everything out. They're just blocking everything out front. They're not getting any shots through. Let's give kudos to you know what? Chicago's playing a lot like we. Oh, here's a chance. Yes, there you go. There it was with 2.3 seconds to go. You could see it. You could feel it. I could feel it. Didn't I say? I felt it.
Hell of a shot by Dobson. Hell of a shot by Dobson. You look at the offense that has occurred today for the Islanders. Both of them have stemmed there from the defense taking a shot and either it being redirected after a good shot or the defense putting it in. Defense has been generating the offense today. Still, forwards haven't done all that much, but no Dobson. Fantastic. Oh, nice screen. Nice screen as well by, I think, our totem pole, Anders Lee. Hell of a screen. He screens Marc-Andre Fleury. He's unable to get in front of the puck.
The shot was far side. Here's the thing. Barzell drew 3 defenders towards him, makes the pass to Dobson, and he goes far side. That's what it's – here's the thing. If Bailey was over there, nothing happens. We lose.
Well, we've at least got 1 point, ladies and gents. It can't you don't want to have another overtime loss. That guy has a hell of a lot of pins on his scarf. I almost want to check those out, man. I'm sure he's got a few pretty good ones there, Grump.
Got a lot of flair on his little scarf.
He's got a lot of what movie is that from? Something about
I forget.
Jennifer Aniston's in it, and Paul Rudd.
I don't remember. I confuse it with Office Space. I don't think it's Office Space.
I
know the movie you're talking about. Maybe Ryan Reynolds was in it. I forget.
I can't. You know what I'm trying to say? It's Office Space. Look at you, Grumpy.
Okay,
It's
it is Office
Office
Space. There you
Space.
go. Yeah.
There it is. Holy shit! Here it is. As soon as that happens, Andrew Gross said, "Hey guys, we're on a 3-game point streak. Islanders on a 3-game point streak. Here it freaking is. All right. Even if we lose tonight, it's going to be, hey, we're on a 3-game point streak. 3-game point streak, guys. Even though we've lost, on an 11-game losing streak, we're on a 3-game point streak. Everything's getting better. 3-game point streak. Woohoo!"
That just brings it to 10 points in 10 games. Not good enough.
God Almighty. Oh. I'll tell you. Overtime. Let's see who we roll out there in the 3-on-3 today. Are we going to roll Oliver Wahlstrom out there, or are we going to get the same sorry ass excuse of he hasn't played any 3-on-3 times, so we can't go any time in a 3-on-3 in overtime?
Why would you ever watch all the defenders here are drawn to Barzal. Look at him. 3 of them. 3 of them. He drew 3 defenders towards him.
I'll be honest with you. Yeah, that forward should have stuck with Dobson, but he did draw a little bit towards Barzal. It was a hell of a job by Matty B.
Yep. That's what
did you see that girl's beer flying down there on the front row, just spilling and sloshing all over the place?
Nothing like getting a beer bath after a victory, though.
Overtime record. The Islanders so far this season are 0-3. The Chicago Blackhawks are 2-2.
Oh, so let's see. And New York Ranger Mike is pretty old.
Oh no, you don't have to read. I'm just popping these up.
I'm just glad they won a cup while he was still alive. I'm just happy that he got to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now this, I tell you, overtime, I feel like is tailor-made, built for the Chicago Blackhawks, even though they're 2-2. You talk about the speed of like Patrick Kane, Kirby Dach. You got a lot of speedy guys, and we're gonna roll out here to overtime to start off with Jean-Gabriel Pageau and Kyle Palmieri with Adam Pelech to start overtime.
Let me ask you a question. I know he loves to put Anders Lee out there. Why would you put someone who can't skate at all out there?
Maybe we could put Anders Lee and Josh Bailey on the ice at the same time. 2 not great skaters in a 3-on-3 scenario.
Josh Bailey is not a poor. Okay, no,
I said 2 not great skaters. Josh Bailey's not a great skater. He's an average skater.
Yeah, he's an okay skater.
He's not better than Palmieri as a skater. He's not better.
I have a feeling we're going to win overtime. I do.
I think we're going to win in overtime as well. Here's the thing: if it goes to shootout, who knows? I know Sorokin's a much better shootout goalie than Varlamov is, but I tell you,
there we go. Here, Matty B's got it. He's like, "Come on, everybody else, get off the ice." So I'll go 1-on-3 like usual.
Alexander's saying, "Damn you, TJ, for making Grumpy's chicken strips cold."
Yeah, cold, ice cold.
Oh goodness gracious!
Oh, and there's Average out there. Why the hell is he out there for it? Come on, Average. Get out of the zone, you piece of shit. Fucking toad.
Oh, good gracious. Good gracious.
Nice pass over to Dobson.
Whoa!
Oh, a little bit too inside. A little bit too inside. That was a nice give and go, though. Uh-oh. Patty Kane.
Got it.
Let's see how he undresses Average Anders Lee. Just prove my point, Patty Kane.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh, good gracious, man. I don't know about you guys. I've got sweaty hands right now. I got sweaty palms, Grumpy. Holy shit.
You know what they say about that?
No, I don't.
Oh, my gosh. Nice setup there. Taves.
Carlos C says Villiers is the new Bailey.
Nice play by Dobson to strip him behind the net. Really nice. The kid gets better every freaking game. You want to know why? Because Barry is being forced to give him a chance to roll with him. That, like I said, that's his biggest weakness. Think about how good this kid would have been if you would actually let him play the last 2 years before now. Now only COVID is look at that move. Only COVID is responsible for him getting the ice time he's getting and able to show the talent that he's actually has. This is what you should be doing. This is what a good coach really does. They improve their players. Barry doesn't do that.
Right now, we do have Oliver Wahlstrom is on the ice, guys. Oliver Wahlstrom sighting out there with Sebastian Aho and Josh Bailey.
So if they're playing 2-on-3, that's what's happening. Islanders are playing a man short in overtime. Look at him, just going around in circles, not getting a pass, just standing around. They don't even look at him. Let's see, pass to Bailey. Will he shoot? Nope. Why don't you just skate out of the zone, Bailey? You're good at that. Piece of shit. Nothing. That's a Josh Bailey shift in a freaking nutshell right there. Just a couple of pass backs, a couple of skates out of the zone.
Oh man, Jean-Gabriel Pageau almost puts that on net, and that has a high chance to score.
He showing a little bit more jump today.
This is, I think, probably his best game so far this season. And
No,
that's
I
saying
thought the
something.
second game of the year. I thought the second game of the year was his best, even though we lost. I thought he played extremely well in that game.
Mm-hmm.
But he's played well. I think he's played well tonight. I mean, if you're picking 3 stars of this game, who the hell are you picking? Honestly, I guess whoever. Patty Kane.
If I'm picking 3 stars, I'm picking whoever scores the overtime goal, and if their team. Ooh. Oh, nice job by Matt Barzal. Gets a stick there and prevents that shot, an easy shot on target there, and it goes into the rafters or goes up there into the netting. Looks like the faceoff will be in the Islanders zone. 1:15 remaining.
Let's be honest. This has been a boring game.
It has.
Right?
It's been a relatively boring game. And overtime's been the most exciting there's been.
And the action picked up a little bit more as we got to the end, right? I mean, I could just tell I'm more excited now. I'm like, man, this game sucks. I mean, think about if you paid, $9 to see this game, it wouldn't have been worth it. You know what I'm saying?
$9 too much.
And think about the people who paid full price for the tickets.
Oh, good gracious. No, Casey's not back. EG.
And there's Anders Lee. Can't keep up with Doc.
Holy shit. What a
nice
slam
save
shot.
by Varlamov.
Either that or just was off target, the shot.
I think Taves hit him with the shot. Oh, Matty B takes he's still able to pick it up. There you go. Nice play, Matty B. It looks like they're just playing for shootout or maybe one last rush.
Exactly. They're just trying to control the puck.
Matty's like, I'm not passing to any of these ham and egg or hacks that I'm normally with. I want to do it all myself.
Oh, my God. Anders turns the freaking.
Man, he sucks. My God, he sucks. Who would you rather have, Kirby Doc or average Anders Lee?
Anders is just trying to tie it up in the zone. He does not want to get in a he's going the other way.
Yep. Get back, Matty.
One last break.
Get back, Matty. Look at the hustle. Look who's lagging behind, 400 miles behind. Oh, nice save. That was a tricky shot.
Good
that
save.
Save right there. It was a little off-speed shot. Nice save. They got one more chance here.
Well,
and that should do it. Honestly, that's a go.
I think Noah Dobson tied up.
Who cares if he pulls a penalty?
I was about to say, who cares if he pulls a penalty? He's right.
No problem.
What are you going to do? Give me a penalty for 2 seconds?
You don't like it? Tough shit. Number 4. Oh, that's Seth Jones.
Seth Jones.
Like, yeah, guess what, Seth Jones? I'm better than you already. You suck.
Seth Jones is overpaid.
He's got 21 points and is like a -50.
Seth Jones is? He's
I think he's got 21 points.
I do love how Dobson.
Dobson, see what? Throwing a punch. What are you doing throwing a punch, buddy? You didn't like it? Too bad. Who cares?
That was smart by Noah Dobson, though, right?
Absolutely.
The overtime is just about over. Even if they haul you for a penalty on that, it's only 2 seconds left.
Yeah. End of overtime. Going to shootout.
Who do you have as your shootout? Who would you have taking your shots? Grumpy. Whoa! I'll tell you. Going to shootout. A little shootout action, Grump.
I'm bringing Dylan Strome, Patrick Kane, and Alex DeBrincat. That's who I'm rolling out there.
Okay, how about for the Islanders?
Oh, shit.
And then you'd have number 4 to be like Jonathan Taves?
Yeah. I'd go with I'm putting Barzal out there. I'm going to put Wahlstrom out there. And I'm going to put Pageau out there today. That's who I'd go with.
Pageau's played well, so you're giving Pageau. Okay. Now, now, did you say Barzal? I'm sorry.
Yep. I'm always putting Matt Barzal on this shootout. You got to put your best offensive player out there. You know I'm not putting out there? Number freaking 12. Ever. I don't care if I go 15 rounds in the shootout. He is never going to be in a shootout.
Let's see if we can take a look. Jean-Gabriel Pageau usually does get these shootout attempts, so I'll be interested to see. I think he'll definitely be out there. Who else will Barry Trotz select?
So who's first? Did he say?
We're gonna be Varlamov's in net here for the first attempt.
Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and see what's going on with that. I believe he's gonna face the first attempt will be Simon Varlamov. It looks like I'm sorry, Oliver Wahlstrom.
There you go.
First.
Number 1.
Now this is the kid. Some of you may remember when he was drafted. He had that viral video in Boston. Where he had scored that little wraparound goal like at the age of 10 years old. So a guy who is very skilled in shootout, who's very offensively created, is now just taking the puck, skating it down the ice.
Oh, nice save.
He tried to get him low before Marc-Andre Fleury went down, but makes a nice blocker save.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, I'm a big believer in coming in fast. I mean, I don't think a guy like that should be coming in slow. Jonathan Taves. Okay, there you go. Taves, who's number 4, right? Come on, Varley. Let's make a save. Another just floating in. He's got pretty good hands, though.
Ooh, hell of a stop.
Nice
That's a hell
save.
of a job. That's a hell of a job of redirecting by Varlamov, right? It was a good job slow playing, I think, by Jonathan Taves, and Varlamov gets back quick like a cat. Ooh, nice
Yeah,
job.
that was nice. Ooh, nice getting that leg back. It was close. If he goes another foot, he beats him.
Now we've got Matty B, Matt Barzal.
There you go. Now he's got the hands. He could do whatever he likes here.
Oh, an outstanding save by Marc-Andre Fleury. Holy shit, what a save.
That was a good save.
Oh, my God, what a save. That was a great shot by Matty B, but what a save. That's an even better save. Oh, that's a fantastic save.
Yeah, nice play. Give credit where credit's due, right? And there's
Patty
Kane.
Kane up.
He has score written all over him. I'm sorry.
Holy shit. What a shot, dude.
That's what I mean. Guys with quick hands, they can come in slow and pick corners. You think Average Anders League could ever do that? Even when he dreams, like wet dreams, he doesn't make that play. I'm just telling you.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
So, Anthony Beauvillier is going to be the last guy taking a shot.
I'm surprised he hasn't really shown me much today, but hey.
I thought you would go with Jean-Gabriel Pageau the way he's playing today too.
He had a good game today, and Anthony that's it. They lose. Okay. Well, there you go.
Another overtime/shootout loss for the Islanders. The losing streak expands to 11 games now.
Wow.
But it'll only be a matter of time before you start seeing in the media, Islanders on a 3-game point streak. 3-game point streak, guys. Ignore the losses. 3-game point streak. Really Here's the thing. We had a few really good attempts. The save that Marc-Andre Fleury put on Matt Barzal was fantastic, and that was a great shot attempt by Patty Kane. So it wasn't like I looked at any of those shots and said, "What the hell were you doing?" Oliver Wahlstrom, I didn't like his shot attempt, but I mean the Beauvillier one I thought even was a good one too, because if he puts that right over the top, I mean I think that Fleury gets just a little tip of it, but
there's no one on our team, with the exception of Barzal, really, who you say, okay, if he goes, like, remember Franz Nielsen was really, really good in shootout. Is there anybody on our team who's really, really good in shootout? No. Just not. I mean, do you think the goalies were really tested today in regulation? I didn't feel
not until the end. I mean, like maybe a little bit in overtime, but no, not really.
I didn't think that anyone was really what a great save. I mean, maybe one or two, but overall, I just don't think that, like I said, it was kind of a nondescript game. We lost to a team that we probably should have beaten. Just tough. Nice to see Aho play well. I know he's going to get ripped for giving up, for making that pass that turned into the second goal. But for me, I thought he had a really good game, particularly getting back on defense. I thought Noah Dobson was really good. It's sad because we just don't seem like we're a very good team right now.
Andrew L. just said the Canucks just fired their head coach.
Travis Green.
Travis Green is out. Yeah,
well, he deserved to be gone. They've been terrible this year. If your team has a record of like 12-5, what's the Islanders' record now? I'm sorry, I messed it up.
5-10-5, damn it. So
5-10-5. If you really lose your job, Travis Green.
I'll tell you, I mean, you look at the Vancouver Canucks, they've got a lot of young pieces. They've got a lot of offensive talent, and you think they've got the pieces around them there, but, you've got Thatcher Demko in that. You've got pieces around, but they just can't do it.
They're 8-15-2. You realize that their winning percentage is less than us.
What?
They're 8-15-2.
No, they're winning. No, we've only got 5 wins and 15 losses.
Yeah, overtime loss counts as like half a win.
What?
In winning percentage.
Oh, okay. I'm just talking clear wins and losses. But
okay.
Yeah, Christopher C said, "Hey, give me some tenders, Grumpy."
All you gotta do is come on over to the house, Christopher. I'll cook them right up for you. Here's the thing: it's not like I'm breading them myself. I do that sometimes, but certainly not tonight. I just took them right out of the old freezer bag, popped them on there, cooked them up. If you were over here, we could have shared them. TJ wouldn't have minded you eating the food, just me. That's the only one's a problem.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, good gracious, Grumpy. Good gracious. Tell you, not yikes, man. Yikes. At least we didn't lose in regulation, but still, yikes. We didn't look good when we played tonight. Was there any time period where you said, oh, yeah, the Islanders look dominant? I mean, maybe the last 5 minutes when we poured on pressure because we knew we had to score a goal. Other
I'm
than that, I'm just mean, yikes, man. It wasn't a good play by us tonight.
it was a bad game, honestly. Um, it was terrible. It was terrible. I mean, neither team impressed me at all, honestly. These are games we have to win. When you're playing bad teams like Chicago, you have to if you want to be a playoff team and a contender, you have to win those games. You cannot lose to bad teams.
I remember we had talked about, right? We needed 14 points over those next 10 games.
We have
Currently, we
to
have 3 points in 3 games played, right? The schedule only gets tougher, guys. The schedule's not getting easier for us. The first 3 games we've had since the COVID resumed were against 3 very, very winnable games, and we just haven't looked good.
we have to beat Ottawa on Tuesday. You can't come out with anything with less than 2 points against Ottawa. Ottawa's bad.
We're bad though too. So I
Yeah,
mean, we're saying Ottawa's bad. We're bad. I mean, we lost to the Sharks, we lost to the Red Wings, and we lost to the Blackhawks. We've got Ottawa. Then we go back to Nashville, the Devils, the Red Wings again, the Bruins, the Vegas Golden Knights, and the Canadians.
okay. Let's break those down one by one real quick.
I'll pop,
Ottawa,
I'll pop it up on screen so it's
okay.
easier for you to see. So
Yeah.
give me 1 second. But we do have Ottawa next. That is a must-win game. Here it is. About every single week, I feel like every day is a must-win game at this point for the Islanders. But we've got the Ottawa Senators, Grumpy, here.
Yeah, Ottawa should be a win for us. Okay. So there's your 2. Who was the next game?
You've got the Nashville Predators.
Nashville. All right, I'll say that'll be a loss.
Oh, shit, man. We can't afford any losses. Can't afford any more losses, Grump.
Okay. I just want to say automatic wins. Ottawa's an automatic win. We'll just go through the automatic what should be automatic wins. Let me just put it to you that way. Senators should be an automatic win. Okay. Then we have New Jersey. I think we beat New Jersey. I don't think New Jersey, I think they're really struggling right now. So let's say we beat Jersey. That's an automatic win for us.
Jersey, just give you a little, they're 9-9-4.
Yeah, they've been struggling since they hammered us. They've been struggling.
Okay.
So we're going to go with automatic win against the Devils, automatic against
the Red Wings,
the Senators, Red Wings. That's a home game, right?
Yes.
All right. I'm not saying that's an automatic.
No, that's an away game. I'm sorry. Little Caesars Arena.
Oh, I thought that was okay. All right. Well, let's go to the next game. I'm not saying Bruins is going to be a loss. Knights is I don't know what the schedule for the Knights is around that. So I'm not going to say automatic win or loss.
The schedule around the Knights is that on Thursday they play the Devils. On Friday they play the Rangers. Then they get a day off, and then on Sunday they play the Islanders.
Okay.
So that will be their 3rd game in 4 days. Are we going to hear from our broadcasting crew about how tired the Vegas Golden Knights should be because they've played 3 games in 4 days, or are they just going to completely omit that?
I think that will be omitted, but who knows? Then I think we beat Montreal Canadiens.
So what do you think about the Vegas Golden Knights? I'm sorry.
That's not an automatic win. There should be 3 automatic wins. I'm just giving you automatic wins in the next 7 games. What are the automatic wins? That should be 3 automatic wins. So that gives you 6 points plus the 3 that you already have. That's 9. And then we
need to find 5 additional points.
Yeah, 5 additional points in how many other games? 4 other games? 4 other games. We should be able to do that. No?
No, Grump. So we've played to 3 already. We've had to 3 points. And the next 3 games, I'm sorry. So you're right. You got to find 5 points in those 4 games. I apologize.
The 10 games, right? The 10-game trip, right? It's the 10 games. We've played 3. So you got that should be a win. 2. Let's say 2. Let's say 1 point. 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll go 6, 0. We're not getting nothing against Bruins. Maybe 1, 7, 8, 9. Then what are the rest of those? That's not 7 games, is it?
Yeah, that's the end. That's the 7 games. That's the 6 games. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's going to be the 7 games. Yep.
Okay. Well, that's only 12 points. That's not good enough.
Yeah, so I was about to say, if you want the 14 points, we've got 3 right now. We were going to need 11. If we're going to win 3 more games, ideally, we're going to need 5 points over that next span. So I can tell you,
I just hope we don't stumble out of the gate against one of these lesser teams. That's all. Right now, we're showing nothing in the way of offense, of sustained attack in the offense zone. Nothing.
I was about to say, stumbling out of the gates, man. We're not doing anything at the
I'm
moment.
saying offensively, we just can't do anything.
We are struggling big time. I'll tell you, an 11-game losing streak. Yeah, Patrick V said number 11 coming up. Number 12 is going to be Tuesday. Oh, I hope not. Oh man. I tell you, we're struggling. We're struggling, Grump.
Yeah.
We talked about the road to 98, right? All about the road to 98, Grumpy. I did a little mathematical equation on what the layout needs to be. I'm going to get that pulled up, but we talked about it.
How many games do we have left?
That was our 20th game.
So we have 62 games left. I figure we probably need we need to win 58 of them probably, right?
No, so I had it pulled up here. So we have had, and since I made this post on social media, we needed to hit the 98 point mark. We would need to go 40, 19, and 5. Well, since that time period, guys, since December the 2nd, we have overtime losses in 2 additional games. So we would need to go 40, 19, and now 3 if we want to hit the 98 point mark.
It's not happening.
I was about to say, and even if you're like, oh, let's throw in, we're going to have more than 3 overtime losses the remainder of the season. Yeah, it just makes how many games you can lose in regulation even more of a slim margin. When you go on an 11-game losing streak like this, it is mighty tough to come back and to make the playoffs.
We're just about at the quarter pole, right?
Yes.
I mean, one more game and you could say we're at the quarter pole. This could practically be the quarter pole, right? We have 15 points through 20 games. That's like 60 points in the regular season. 60. We had 56 when we drafted first to win the John Tavares sweepstakes. 56. We're on pace for 60 right now. That's not good enough. That's not being a contender. That's not being a playoff team. That's not even being a fringe playoff team. That's like a definite lottery team type schedule we're playing. Record. Sorry.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I've missed a whole bunch of comments here. I'm sorry, but Grumpy, people are out here saying, what's the score? People are out here saying Grumpy called it. They tied it. Islanders tied the game. They're saying F yeah, Grumpstradamus. Jason,
I had a feeling we were going to score. I just had a feeling we were going to score.
You're right, Grumpy. You're right.
You can feel it sometimes. You can feel it.
I'll tell you, man, we're in a little bit of trouble, my guy.
Waiting. Yes, Waiting. Waiting was the movie. Waiting was the movie. Sal is exactly right. Waiting is the movie. Yes. That's right, Sal. No, or was it Office Space? I forget.
It was Office Space. We're getting.
But Waiting was who was in that one? That was good too. A lot of those movies where you see the stars work like in a Bennigan's or a Applebee's type restaurants. They're all kind of, they're interesting.
Waiting is the one with
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, Justin Long and
Yeah.
Affairs. Okay, that's a pretty good staff.
I like Ryan Reynolds. He's funny. I like him.
Oh, yeah.
I like he plays Ryan Reynolds and he's good at it. Really good at it.
Oh man, he is. Extra TJ and Grump tonight. Yeah, for certain. On the bright side, we get closer to the number 1 overall pick every game. Hopefully we can win the lottery.
You know what? Wouldn't that be great? I mean, if we're not going to make the playoffs, don't you want to win the lottery?
I mean, that's best case scenario for us, right? I mean, if you don't make the playoffs, winning the lottery, but
somebody just asked a question of me about, he assumed that I want Lou to fire Barry. No, I don't think Barry's a bad coach. I don't think he's a great coach. He's a good coach. He's a really good coach, but he has to be willing to break from what he's always done. And if he's not capable of it, see you later, because the team needs to go in a different direction. It just does need to go in. And if he's willing to be a leader in going in a different direction, I'm all for keeping him, because he is a good coach. He gets a lot out of his team, and he's gotten a lot out of this team. Honestly, with the level of talent that we've had on this team, he got the team as far as we could get it to go. I mean, 2 semifinal appearances, That's as good as you could ever expect from this team.
I agree.
We're just not talented enough. But if he's not willing to bend and be flexible and change and play younger players at the expense of veterans, he needs to go. But I want to put that ball in his court. Have the discussion with them when the season's over. Are you willing to do it? It's a real simple conversation. It shouldn't take anything more than 5 minutes.
Jeffy said, funny to listen to you guys behind our feed. LOL. Well, I'm glad you're getting a kick out of it. I'm glad that works well for us. Peter S. said, this is why hockey is the greatest sport. Talking about that overtime, that goal right before overtime.
Yeah, it's fantastic, right? I mean, the game was a dud, and the last 2 minutes delivered, right? Almost like basketball, right?
Michael T saying he wants to see Chara come out and shoot one.
He'd still be skating towards the net now.
Oh man. I tell you, Grumpy.
Marek Malik. I remember him. He scored, I don't know how many. I think he was with the Devils. I think he scored like in the 12th, 13th shootout thing, won the game. That's a long time ago.
Michael T saying, peace out. Hate to say it, but it's pain for Shane time. Please do not trade our first round pick away this year, Lou.
No way. I think I've even convinced TJ not to double down on this.
Well, I don't want to double down. I didn't think I did want to. I just said I could see the team doing that. I don't think we'll even be in a position to where he can even mold that idea around in his head, which is a good thing. Jeremy F said, good night, fellas. Thanks for the commentary. Oh man. Yeah, it was a tough one tonight. It was a tough one. Warzone Senior Citizen said, Trots must go. Fire sale. Tank for Shane. Tank pain for Shane time.
I'm not opposed to a fire sale, but you realize we are like 12 points out of the final playoff spot. And 6 teams. See, it's not even points, it's teams. When you have that many teams you have to pass, everyone's not going to lose. I hate to tell you.
The Legend 21 says, suck it, go Blackhawks.
Good for the Blackhawks. I'm not going to say they deserve the win today, but they suck too. I mean, if you're a Blackhawks fan, I mean, is that Stan Mikita's number 21? Hey, cool for the Blackhawks. They won, but you beat a shitty Islander team. Is that reason to celebrate? I don't think so.
Tree of low expectations. Yes, so the Stan Mikita's number was number 21. Look at that.
Hall of Famer. I remember watching him play.
Different Mind says the Islanders have as many wins as the Tank Division Arizona Coyotes.
5 freaking wins. 20 games in the season, 5 wins. 5.
Oh, I'll tell you, man, we're struggling. Oh, and Jeff E said he thinks the Coliseum put a big time curse on the UBS.
Isn't it USB?
No, grumpy. Okay. UBS. I'll tell you. They
should give that stadium a different name.
They're not changing the name. It's the bank who's got it there, who's got the name rights.
Patrick, I'm telling you what, Patrick has changed his picture. I don't know how many times today. He's involved. I love you, Patrick. I don't know if that's Patrick's wife, but she's way too pretty for you, Patrick.
Jeff E said the Detroit Lions have more wins than the Islanders since November the 7th.
See, that's what I had some Lion stuff lined up today for TJ and the grumpy old man, and it's not going to age now. So, yeah, I mean, Detroit Lions win their first game of the year. I should have worn my Lions cap on the podcast. I was going to wear my Islander fisherman jersey today, but I thought it would just be too negative.
No, we can't. Oh, yeah. He's saying Ivan D saying these are a sorry bunch, hard workers with no talent.
True. But here's the thing. And I'm not saying that they're not hard workers. They're on the wrong side of 30. Most all of them. You don't get better with age. You don't get faster. You don't, when you get hit along the boards, when you deliver a hit, it hurts more. You don't recover as quick. I mean, I think that's really the biggest problem. We're just old and slow.
Old and slow. Alexander said at least the Dolphins got with a 5 in a row. At least I got the Dolphins that have won 5 in a row.
6 and 7 now.
Yeah. Ooh, Vinny S saying here the Islanders lose 11 in a row. How do you not fire Trotz? Anyway, here's the Josh Bailey report. The hockey gods gave Bailey an assist in last game, assist on the last goal. He was nowhere near the play. Another game, he got only one shot on net. One now in the last 3 games. Islanders power play scored without Bailey on it. So what should they do? They should put him back on it and nothing. They put him back on it and nothing. I know these players are getting tested for COVID daily. I think we need to get Bailey tests for Alzheimer's. He's lost out there. Oh, good gracious, good gracious. Vinny Smith.
I don't think he should be tested for Alzheimer's. I think he should be tested for muscular dystrophy.
I think you should be tested for, they do like those allergic panels where they test to see if you're allergic for something on your back, and they give you a whole bunch of different small sample size to see if you break out.
So
when
they
you
put
go
a
in
net.
to see he's allergic to the fabric that is and composes of the net, and then the paint they use on the actual goalpost and whatever type of metal the goalpost is made out of, to see if that is the reason why he's allergic to going in front of the net.
He's allergic to red enamel paint, blue crease paint, and twine. So that's why he doesn't go near it. But he has a positive reaction when he hangs on the boards. I thought he may be tested positive for muscular dystrophy because he plays just like he's got something wrong with him. And that's not to slam people with muscular terrible disease. It's probably a bad joke, but well, you know what? It's late. So
Different Mind said there's nothing respectable about the team right now. At least before we could point to our defensive system, but this year has been a mess. Here's the thing. The issue isn't the defense, and people will, I guarantee you on Twitter, people right now are blaming Sebastian Aho. They'll completely look over the fact that he provided the offense to score the first goal, and they'll just say, oh man, he did a bad job turning that puck over. And that's what led the game to overtime. And that's what may have almost cost us the game. We could have maybe won that in regulation, but Sebastian Aho's bad turnover and his bad defensive play. The issue is our forwards are not freaking scoring goals, ladies and gentlemen. That is the freaking issue on this team.
Didn't I tell you that was going to be the case? And you bring back the same cast of characters. You need to get rid of some of those guys to bring in new players. There's no accountability for the players on this team. They just no competition, nothing. You know something? If I had press credentials and I talked to Barry Trotz, you know what my first question to him would be? Barry, do you think your team is ever going to win another game this year? Do you think that would make him walk off the podium? I'd say, I'm being serious here. When you score 1 goal a game, how many games do you think you're going to win? Do you think your team will score 100 goals this year?
No. Here's the thing. That you would get your Grumpy, we would never be able to get some press credentials because I think they would look at you and they say, hold on a sec. They do your research on you, go, oh, hold on a second. I was searching for the names, and you came up in the Rolodex and the blacklist of blacklisted names, Grumpy. So they would have what are you going to have as your name on your press pass? The Grumpy Old Man. They would search that, and then Grumpy Old and Man would be completely not allowed.
You know how they have the R in a circle for registered, like for trademark? For the press credentials, you have to have a little C in a little circle next to your name. That's for cartel, and I would not have that. I would have A for asshole circled for mine. That's what it would be. We're letting this guy ask a question. It might be too entertaining. I mean, do you remember when I said, you know what? The Islanders, and today was a boring game, right? I think we could admit that. Pretty boring except for the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's when I started getting fired. Do you remember when I said to you last year, I said, you know what? We are so boring as a team. The only thing that saves us is that we're winning. Because if you play like this and you're boring, people are going to stop watching you.
Yep. And you're going to get people upset. People will be upset when it's boring and there's nothing. It's like, oh, I'm not even entertained out here. People get upset quick. Yeah, and we saw it, right? You're going to see a lot of those seats go up for sale too. Line on the secondary market.
It's easy to take a really talented team and have them play a little bit more defensively than it is to take a defensive-oriented team and turn them into offensive players. You cannot teach skill. It cannot be taught. That's why I'm a firm believer you always draft talent and skill.
Well, hold on. Is Patrick Kane's stick handling ability that we just saw in the shootout? If we told Anders Lee and maybe spent 10 hours with him, we couldn't teach him a trait like that, Grump?
I think you could spend 10 years with Anders Lee and he couldn't have made one of those. That one move he couldn't have done. 10 years he could practice it night and day, and he couldn't do that. That's the guy you thought was better than Patrick Kane, as I remember. Stop. He's the guy you thought the Islanders should keep over Patrick Kane. You said, I said, would you trade Patrick Kane for Anders Lee? And like, no way, you wouldn't do it. I'm like, what? You're insane.
Stop. It's not even true. Oh my God. Taco Fall, Grumpy, stay on topic here, huh? Taco Fall said, are you guys in New York? I saw the games are 6 o'clock. No, I'm in the Central Time Zone. So Grumpy's on the East Coast. I am in Central Time Zone. Jeff E said, "I'm so glad I bought a 10-game package this year. F me." Oh
Jeff,
yeah.
what we're going to do, we're going to go through the schedule and try to get you some games that the Islanders can win. I don't know if we can beat 10, but I will try.
Oh man, Carlos said the 2002-2003 team started terribly, earning just 11 points in the first 17 games and still made the playoffs. So anything is possible.
It's true. It's possible, just not probable.
Well, we've got 13 points now through 20 games.
No,
so.
we have 15. 15. 15.
Oh.
We have 15 points now.
No, it's 13 points.
No, we have 15. 5, 10, and 5 through 20. That's 15.
Oh, wow. Okay. I guess I'm wrong.
Don't be trying to undersell my team. I just said before we had 15 points through that's 60 points over the course of a full season. Maybe 61.
The Tampa Bay Lightning beat the Flyers today 7-1.
Flyers are tanking. I think we should have said, Lou really miscalculated going the COVID route against the Flyers because they're falling apart. I think they've lost 8 in a row.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And I don't care. I don't care if we lose every game the rest of the year. We have to beat the Flyers. I hate the Flyers. That's a game, even if it's boring, I'm going to be on fire for that game. I hate them.
Anthony R. said, "Can we finally admit that we need to start trading guys now and reboot for next year?" Well, teams I don't think we're going to look to trade for players yet. When you get around the start of the new year, probably around January 1st, that's when teams are going to say, are we buyers and are we sellers? And the way our team's looking right now, around January 1st, we should be looking to sell assets, not double down and buy.
I'm willing to sell right now. Oh, Barry's talking right now. You know what he looks like? His eyes are all shifty. Like, what am I going to do? He looks lost.
I tell you, 11-game losing streak. Is that the worst? I wonder how bad his longest losing streak was in Nashville or in Washington. I wonder if this might be close to his highest losing streak ever as a coach. 11-game losing streak is something. That's a long-ass losing streak, Grump.
Yeah, it is. That's like an eighth of the season. Think about that. 1/8 of the season you have lost.
What a film saying. Half of Lee's value to me is that him in the dressing room and on the bench. Yeah, he's better. He better get these guys fired up.
They have enough leadership types on this team. They do not need him. I remember a comment my son sent into Arthur Staple after when Lee was a free agent, and he said to him, why would the Islanders sign Anders Lee back for that type of money? Do you think they should let him go? He's like, well, it would look really bad if you lost your captain 2 years in a row. Well, then you know what you shouldn't have done? You shouldn't have made him a freaking captain until he signed an extension or anything like that. Because I don't care. I don't care if you're a captain. If you're not good enough, you don't get extended. It's about play on the ice. That's what. It doesn't matter what you do in the room. And I'm sure he's a great leader. Blah blah blah. We have plenty of guys like that.
You need a few guys that are good in the room, but I don't need a guy that I overpay to play on the first line to be good in the room. Yeah, here's the thing. A lot of players on our team are good in the room. But Christopher C. had a question. Grumpy, here's a question for you. Are you saying the older you get, the worse you become? But what if you want to continue playing because you love the sport since your childhood?
There's no problem with that. You got to find somebody who's willing to pay you for it, though. Or you can just play in a beer league where you don't get paid. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not saying that you shouldn't play, but you shouldn't be getting paid money for it. And
no. You can play and get paid money for it. Here's the thing. There are teams that are in a transition from I'm really bad and I want to teach the young guys how to win, right? Those are teams where it's perfect to have a guy who's maybe on the tail end of his career that can teach young players what it's like to be a professional. You shouldn't be saying, hey, we're taking a whole bunch of those individuals on a team that's competing for a cup.
Yeah, but where do those guys play? They're fourth liners. They play limited minutes. They're not, they're not core members of the team. Our core members, and I consider that Bailey, Lee, Nelson, Palmieri, the whole fourth line, they've not produced, and they're all on the wrong side of 30.
Brendan S. is saying, did somebody say 3-game point streak? Oh, see, no, don't even start that, Brendan. No, they're going to start saying, yeah, Andrew Gross said, hey, guys, we're on a 3-game point streak.
Congrats.
We're also on an 11-game losing streak.
You go on an 82-game point streak and be 15 points out of the playoffs. That could happen too.
Yep. Donald W. said, shock for all the local fans here in the tri-state area that the Rangers are playing so well, but the Islanders and the Devils are not playing well at this time period.
Well, we really didn't expect the Devils. I thought the Devils, eventually you kind of settle down to who you are. You're seeing the Devils settle down to who they are, which is like a 500 type club. They'll be improved from last year, but they're not going to make the playoffs. The Rangers bring in a new coach. They had a lot of young talent. Shocker, right? How many years ago was it that they sent out the letter to the season ticket holders saying, you know what, we're going to full rebuild? 4 years?
I think 4 years ago.
They've rebuilt the team in 4 years, and they're loaded with young talent. Yes, they got a couple of breaks in the draft to get Kako and Mr. L. Since
Lafreniere.
Yeah, whatever. They got him.
Lafreniere, right? You say it, Lafreniere.
Yeah, but he's not. I think he's underwhelmed so far for them. But still, he's got talent, right? But you get all those young guys playing at the same time. You take your lumps a little bit, but now they're much, much better. And then you get a coach who can work with young players, and you got what you had this year, which is a total turnaround from last year. That's what we need to do.
Drew L, and I think it's a good point. He said, I mean, when people are saying the season is young, it's not young. We're at the quarter-way point of the season. Like what? Yeah, I was about to say, when people are saying, oh, we shouldn't look at the standings yet, we shouldn't look at the point total yet, we're only 20 games in now, guys. That's about a quarter of the way through the season. That does matter. That means that if you want to make the playoffs, you need to consistently over the next 3 quarters, you need to be top 10 team in the league over the next 3 quarters on average each and every quarter.
And my question for them is, when you watch this team play every night, do you think that we're a top 10 team? We look certainly like a bottom 10 team right now. I don't think anyone could differ with that. We have one player on the whole team who generates offense. One.
And our defense did a pretty decent job of it today by just throwing the puck towards the net. Michael B said, do either of you guys think we would benefit from a fire sale where we'd be guaranteed cap retention for whichever bad contract we'd be able to dump?
I'm all for that. I think they practically have to go studs up. I'm right there right now. I am right there. I've been there for a year, honestly, 2 years.
Matthew said, I'm so frustrated we deserve to win this one.
Yeah, that's one. Well, I don't even know if you could say that. I don't think either team really deserved to win. I don't think we outplayed them. I don't think they outplayed us. It was a bad game between 2 bad teams. I want to give a shout out to Isles Misery Rated R, by the way.
You can give a shout out to Isles Misery Rated R, Grumpy?
Yeah, it's a little late, but yeah.
I'll tell you, it's I totally forgot to tell you, we go live again during next Tuesday's game. We go live during Tuesday's game. So we're going to be live during the Ottawa Senators game, the same way we were tonight. That also being said, Wednesday, we've got guest Phil's Facts on Grumpy Old Man. Phil's Facts on Grumpy Old Man.
I can sleep through that podcast.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Brendan S said, relax, guys. We're going to pull a 17-game point streak out of their ass. Just watch.
We're going to need it. I mean, think about it. I mean, if we don't have that big point streak and win all those games, we don't even make the playoffs that year.
We almost didn't make the playoffs, even with the 17-game point streak. Remember that one?
And we don't make
COVID
it.
Was the only reason we made the playoffs, literally, because COVID stopped the season. We were able to have that play-in match or play-in against the Florida Panthers.
Yeah.
Nuts to think about this. Difference Mind said, Grumpy's press pass is enemy of the cartel.
Enemy of the cartel.
You're right for the enemy of the cartel.
True.
They would never allow you to ask a question, Grump.
No.
Never. They never even let you in there. Let's be honest.
I'd have to like just bomb it. Hey, let me talk.
Like you come in and just.
I'm a disgruntled Islanders fan. What the hell are you doing, Trotz, you turtle? Poke your head out of the shell.
They'd kick you out so freaking quick, and you would be on every single one of those. Could you believe that somebody came in and said that to Barry Trotz? It's so uncalled for a fan ever to say that and to get upset about an 11-game losing streak. Like, you know what, guys? There's much better avenues you can go out and say. You can make a very, very strongly worded tweet. That's how you can get your anger out.
Yeah.
How dare you speak bad to Barry Trotz in front of his face?
Then they go back to their mom's basement. Put the computer down.
Yeah.
No, we were talking about Patrick Kane. It's not Jonathan Taves. It was Patrick Kane. that TJ would not have traded Anders Lee for. Because that was my suggestion. He said, I said, why would Chicago ever trade Patrick Kane for Anders freaking Lee?
I'm going to tell you this one more time, Grumpy. This is the
tell
last.
me anything you want. I was there.
God,
I was there. You could try to spin your line of bullcrap to anybody else you want. I was there.
Ivan D said, I was 18 when the Islanders won their last cup. I'm 56 now and haven't given up hope yet, but I can't wait another 38 years. I'll be 96 by then. I mean, dead. LOL.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, how many people live to be in their mid-90s? I feel your pain. I was older than that when they won their last cup. If I got to wait 38 years, even if I'm alive, I'm not going to remember any of it.
What a film said. Oh my God. I'm telling you, it's not what happened.
It is what happened.
Keep saying it. Matthew S said, I hate this loser mentality. Well, that's, hey, everybody's just say, hey guys, we're on a 3-game point streak, 3-game point streak. Everything's fantastic. 3-game point streak. Everything's turning up. Hey guys, put your smiles on. This is the reason to be excited. 3-game point streak.
Look at the guys on the bench. Look at the coaches when they look at one another. They don't know what to do. You look at the guys on the bench, they all just look defeated. You look at them in the post-game press conference. Matt Barzal looked like he just killed his dog and her litter of pups. I mean, they're all just sitting with their heads down, slumped down. This is a beaten team. I mean, what did he say a couple of weeks ago? We're a fragile team right now. Well, who the hell is that on, Barry? These guys are, mentally tough. We could win any game like that. We are used to playing games like this. All of a sudden, a little bump in the roll and they fold up tents. Guess what? You got the wrong guys on your team. That's all I'm going to say. Wouldn't be like that? Tom Brady wouldn't be like that.
Jesus, he managed to fit his little Tom Brady in. Donald W., thank you there for that. The Rangers announced the rebuild in 2018. I think it was in January 2018. So 4 seasons ago, 3 years ago.
That's not 4 seasons ago.
It was 4 seasons ago. So again, they announced it like in January in the cold months when it started getting cold.
3 years.
3 years ago, 4 seasons ago.
Okay, 2018. That's not even
the 2017-18 season, but they announced it in 2018. So they announced it at the trade deadline of the 2017-18 season. So 4 seasons ago, 3 years ago. John Smith saying maybe we need to pick up a couple more late 30s ex-Devils.
Scott Stevens available. Scott Niedermeyer, Brodeur. Well, we don't really need Brodeur. We already got Varlamov. Who else could we bet? Maybe Valery Zelepukin. We could bring him in. Sergei Brelin. Maybe Bobby Holik could come off the bench. Those are guys we could bring in here. John McClain. I think we got his kid or something in the minors. Bring him up too. What the hell?
Drew L said, I heard Atu Ratu is killing it in Finland. He's playing a lot better. I mean, he looked at it at Karpat. And again, Karpat is awful in the Finnish Elite League. And the style they played was not tailor-made to Atu Ratu's ability. And Atu Ratu, he gets loaned out to Jurk. And I'm not even, I can't, again, I'm not.
Jokerit.
Was it Grumpy?
Jokerit. And I believe that Jokerit. And I believe that they are a lower level team.
No, they're on the Finnish Elite League. So they're the same exact league.
I believe that they're a lower talent team, is what I'm saying.
So you're saying they're not as good as Karpat?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's like being traded from Tampa Bay Lightning to the New York Islanders, kind of like that.
You know what, Grumpy? I'm gonna have to call you on that.
Okay.
Finnish league table. Let me go ahead and pull that up. I'll get that pulled up. But he has played much better as we pulled up the stats. As you could see, he's been playing a lot better.
He's not coming over here this year or next year. Maybe in 2 years he'll go to Bridgeport. They'll let him sit there. It depends on who's in charge. If Trotz is coach, they'll let him sit there for 4 or 5 years. Then they'll Hosang him and get rid of him because, well, that's just what we do.
Jesus, man. I'm trying to find the Finnish Elite League, but geez, man, it's all these all these other languages. I'm getting a whole bunch of stuff in other languages, Grumps. You're gonna have to buy me a little bit of time.
Well, here's the thing. Just take my word for it, all right? We don't need to go any further than that. What's the next comment?
All righty, Grumpy.
Oh, I guess TJ wants to prove his point that Karpat is not the same level as Jokerit.
Jokerit, I like it.
From Belly, but oh my God, he is possibly the most invisible player on ice, and he plays with our best players. Yeah, like I said, if you actually watch his shift, he does nothing. He does nothing. He's like Office Space. That's exactly what he's like. Does nothing, just skates his shit, floats around in and out of the zone, touch the puck periodically, pass it from one guy to the next, and then gets off for the next shift. That's what you want from your players? Don't think
All
so.
right. Just to let you know, Grumpy, you are technically right here. So Karpot, number 4 in the Finnish Elite League with 50 points. Jokerit is number 7 with 43 points in the Finnish Elite League. But they have been on a hell of a win streak ever since Aturatu's been there.
Yeah. And I guess 6 of them make the playoffs.
So, well, it's good to see. Aturatu is performing, though, which is nice to see, right? Because he didn't perform last year for Karpot, and this season he is for Jokerit. He's got 11 points again in 9 games, 6 goals, 5 assists. So, I mean, he's probably about a good solid 2 or 3 years away, just based off of the Barry system. I mean, think about it. He could play as well as he is in the Finnish Elite League now. There's no way in hell he would ever come over and play immediately. He could go ahead and lead the Finnish Elite League in scoring. They would still say, hey, you're going to need some seasoning in Bridgeport.
Yeah, and he probably does need before he plays on the big team. I have no problem with that, but you just can't leave a guy like that down there forever. Build around Barzell, Pellick, Wahlstrom, Sorokin, and Dobson. Hey, those are the 5 guys I picked, Anthony. Anthony's pretty smart. Everyone else is fair game. And like I said, I'll take anything. You need to build up your farm system, go youth. This is supposedly a deep draft, man. I'm jettisoning whoever I could get rid of.
Ivan D said, yeah, we're all just venting here, but I'll never give up hope.
That's what we always do after a bad game, right? When everything's never as good as it seems or as bad as it seems.
What a film said, that's just what happens, TJ. Don't skip my comments.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not skipping your comments. Brett W said, I just can't believe how quick this T mask went to shit. And I was really enjoying the respectability for a while. Right, think about it. We were top dogs. The Islanders could talk shit first time in years that we finally had a little bit of weight when we were talking to other fans.
Right, but just remember, what we said, Brett, that when the fall did happen, it was going to be hard and fast. And isn't that kind of what you want? Do you want a slow, steady decline into mediocrity, or just want to let's rebuild? That's what I want. Hey, you know what? Admit what's the problem. We're too old. We're not talented enough. Jettison what we have, get what we can, and start over. That's what February of 2018.
Thanks, Donald W. So yeah,
3 years ago. That's 3 years ago.
4 seasons ago.
That's 3. It's not 4 seasons ago. It's 3.
Hold on.
19, 20, 21. That's 3. That's 3. That's
so
3 years.
2017-18 season.
No.
18-19 season.
No.
2019-20 season.
First, stop, please. You can't count when they said they're doing the rebuild. It starts the next season. 2018-19, 2019-20. Now you're in 2021. That's 3 years. It's 3 years.
We're in 2021-2022 season, Grump.
It's 3 years. This is the 3rd season. We're just going to
move on. Yeah. Alexander said, I heard Ken Danico is available and Pat LaFontaine is available also.
Yeah, Patty, he would never sign back.
Nick D with the old retro logo saying, bye-bye, Barry. Enough is enough.
Yeah, I'm not ready to go there yet. Like I said, they need to have that talk with him. And I think he deserves that respect, honestly. If he's willing to do that and you say, hey, Barry, we're building studs up. Do you want to be part of that? I mean, we're going to have to tweak our system. We're going to have to be a little more offensive. We can't be a team that scores 1 goal a game and tries to keep another team to 2. We have to be a little, we have to create a little bit more offense. Are you willing to, let these skill players play to their abilities? If not, bye-bye. We'll bring somebody else who will get the most out of our players. He should be getting more out of Matt Barzell for his talent level.
For certain, he should. And again, it's not like it's a lack of ability or lack of play on Matt Barzal's side. I know he's been underwhelming, but Matt Barzal, the effort's there, and you see the individual moments of brilliance. It's not like he's struggling or anything like that. I think Matt Barzal is playing well, but has been underwhelming regarding production. What a film saying, if I bet on a football game, I'll call you TJ. Otherwise, Grumpy is a one-up on you in hockey. But I love your optimism.
Yeah, TJ knows he knows a lot of stuff about football, like in the trenches, but he can't bet a game worth a damn. If you're looking to actually make a bet, come talk to me.
Yeah. Look at Grumpy. NYR Mike says here, I don't understand, how did the Islanders go one game from going to the Cup and probably winning the Cup last year against Montreal to become this bad this year defensively, in addition to not scoring?
Because we weren't that good last year. We did it with smoke and mirrors. Tampa Bay
Well,
outscored us 21-11 in that series. Did you really ever think that Tampa Bay was going to lose to us? I never thought they were. I
and
felt that
in the year before, it was like 19-11 or 19-10. So
we don't score. We were able to beat the teams in our division, Washington and Philadelphia. Washington had Todd Reardon behind the bench. And who did Philadelphia have at that time?
2 years ago, and Philly was the first round. I can't remember who Philly had, but Philly was not great. The goaltending wasn't good by Carter Hart that year. I think he was having a rocky year that year.
Right. And then last year, we dispatched Pittsburgh with no goalie and Tuukka Rask with the torn hip labrum. And then we lost to Tampa Bay. There's certain teams give us problems. Teams that can skate give us problems. That's
again,
why
we're allowing, our team has to play a tough style where we fight for every inch on the ice. We're not able to do that right now, and we're not doing it. We allow way too easy of zone entries for other teams because our defense does not press at the blue line, and we allow those easy zone entries. It allows the other team to get set up in their offensive zone or in our defensive zone, and then we're just playing, chase around. We have not done a good job with the counter punch style that we have, come to know and love under the Barry Trotz system. We have not been able to, absorb, all the pressure and being able to make a strike the other way when we finally get a team to act uncharacteristically. We just haven't been able to do that. So,
I think age is caught up with us. I think that's the bottom line. Age is caught up with us.
Yep. Donald W said, how the hell did yeah, there we go. Yep. The being down to dumps. Yeah, we just covered that too, Donald. And then Brett W said, if you trade me, I'll be forced to blow up the building. Josh Bailey in Office Space.
There you go. That's right.
Ooh, Melvin Milktoast. What the hell was that character's name?
I don't know. Stephen Root played him though.
Oh, okay. What a Film said, I don't think the season is as bad as it looks. Sometimes you need to get hit hard. Right? You're never as bad as you think, but you're never as good as you think. I don't think we're, worst team in the league bad. We're probably middle of the road, mediocre right now.
You know what Rocky told his son, it's not about,
it's not about how hard you get hit, but how hard you get hit, or how hard. Oh shit, I fucked it up, Grump.
That's why I don't let you do those. That's why I do them, because all you do is ham and egger and butcher it. Okay.
It's not about how hard you can get hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and get back up. That's how it went, Grump.
Kind of like that.
That's exactly what the verbiage was. Brett W said, I'll be honest, would any coach fix this team, or does it fall more on the players?
No, we need new players. It's all about the players. A system only gets you so far. And when the players are past their expiration date, it's time to move on from the players. Period.
Grumpy, I don't think you're too happy that the 1980s, the Flyers went 35 games undefeated streak. They hold the record. It will never, ever be broken. It's unbelievable. Almost half of the season.
I don't think it was 1980. I think it was 1987. They went 35 games undefeated. But you know what I remember the most? They lost in the Stanley Cup Finals to Edmonton. That's what I remember. They didn't win the Cup. So I don't give a shit how many games they won in a row or how many they went undefeated. They didn't win the Cup that year.
Grumpy hates the Flyers.
Choke on it, Flyer dogs.
Ivan D said, exactly. Smoke and mirrors since Tavares left. A lot of heart and luck, and finally he's caught up with us.
And don't leave it smoke and mirrors, but a lot of hard work too.
A lot of hard work and an excellent system. Everybody buying in too. Every single person all rowing in the same direction.
Look at what the teams that have performed poorly this year and last year. San Jose, Chicago. Who's another team? I'm going to just use those two as prime examples. Really bad. Anaheim. Teams that are really bad. What do they do now? They play in a Barry Trotz more defensive system. What does it do? It limits. It gives you chances on the counterattack, and it limits giving up a whole lot of goals. So this way your skill can kind of take over. And that's what Barry Trotz teaches, right? They just have more talent than we have. That's why they're beating us. We don't have a whole lot of talent. Teams with lesser talent can be productive like that, but they're never going to win a championship.
Anthony R. said, And Alexander confirmed it was Melvin. Anthony R said, I understand that Trotz definitely deserves the respect to talk at least at the end of the year to change philosophy, but do you honestly think he'll change? I don't see it. It's not his style.
Well, but you know what? He deserves the conversation. And I think he'd be honest. I really do. I think he'd be honest. And he'd say, yeah, I don't want to go that route. Okay, let's just part ways then. No problem at all. The biggest problem they have
here's the thing. Does Lou Lamoriello want to be involved in some sort of rebuild? He's a 79-year-old general manager about to be 80 years old. Does he want to be involved in another rebuild? I say no.
Well, you know what? Then he has to go too. Because then ownership needs to step in. Then ownership needs to step in and say, yeah, fellas, this isn't working. Scoring 1 or 2 goals a game, losing every game at home, maybe getting a loser point, being one of the worst teams in the league, that doesn't work for us. And besides, our product is really boring. We just have this brand new stadium built where it's costing us a lot of money. We need to earn some of that back. We need to be different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Donald W. said, the Islanders are cursed.
Disagree, Donald. Disagree.
Woulda Film said, it's just great having you guys on a Sunday night. Thank you guys. Well, thanks, Woulda. Thanks for tuning in as always, man. Thank you.
We didn't even, today we would have talked about college football playoffs and how the ranking committee did exactly what the cowardly dogs that I knew they were would do. They didn't want to have that rematch of Alabama and Georgia in the first round of the playoffs, so they screwed Michigan. I'm on the record for rooting for Michigan to win a national championship this year.
Yeah, for certain. I cannot believe. Oh, Alabama. Oh, okay. You're third, but you beat Georgia. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move you up. Even though Georgia didn't play anybody this season. Oh, okay, we'll go ahead and move you up. I saw a lot of people make an argument. Oh, why is Notre Dame not in over Georgia? Right? Cincinnati, they lost to a team that's in the bowl. That's going to be in the college football playoffs, number 4, albeit. And right, Georgia lost to a team that's in the college football playoffs as well. But you look at Georgia's strength of schedule; it's less than Georgia's, and you just go down the list. You're like, okay. And also, Georgia didn't win a conference championship either.
That's right. How does Georgia not drop to 4? Here's the thing: I don't think Cincinnati is very good, but they won their conference. Michigan, who was number 2, blew out number 16
Iowa.
Iowa blew them out. What, 41-3, something like that? Killed them. 42-3. Why don't they go to number 1? You have somebody jump them. It's because the committee wanted to make sure that they had Georgia against Alabama potentially in the championship game. They didn't want to have that same game 2 weeks in a row or whatever, whenever they played. They did not want to have
in a row. Yep.
Right. They wanted to have that potential for Georgia, Alabama, because it did ratings, buku ratings. So that's what they want. So Michigan gets screwed. Michigan should have been number 1.
Yep, I don't disagree. Stephen V said, you can only rope a dope for so long. If you can't throw a punch here or there, you aren't going to win. No matter how good your defense and goaltending is, you have to score.
You know what? I see everyone starting to say the same things I've been saying for years. I feel validated, unhappy, but validated.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And then Mike there saying, I was at the 1980s. The Flyers went 35 games without a loss to the Islanders. They beat the Flyers in Game 6.
I could have swore that was 1987. I could have swore that was 1987.
Alexander said he sent me one of Milton as Josh Bailey. I'll have to pull that up. That Detroit sucked. Donald W. said the worst fans are Philly or Boston. I think both fans from both cities are bad fans. I'll tell you, Philly fans are the worst. I don't know. Philly fans, I feel like, are the absolute worst. No?
Yeah, Philly fans are the worst. Boston fans are smart, but they're obnoxious. That's what happens when you win all the time.
Yeah. I tell you. I'm not seeing it here, Alexander. You have to send that to me again. But hold on a second. One or two Society says it's not about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you get up and you keep moving forward. I'll let you read this, Grumpy. I'll let you read this with some energy and passion.
It's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning's done. That's how you do it.
Well, thank you, Grump. I knew I couldn't do it, so I'll let you do it there.
Got to do the Rocky voice. Well, that was a lame Rocky voice, but
hey, a little lame.
I don't care if they lay me off either because I told.
Oh yeah, Melvin Miltos, Milton Miltos. I'm a big dill pickle fan. Grumpy, what's that T-shirt?
No, the shirt is this is the worst baseball team that I ever had. I was coaching young kids then, and they were like 9 and 10, but they were bad. I mean, freaking bad. They were like, the bad news bears bad, really, really bad. Everyone had gone travel ball. This was the only recreational team that there was. And I said, well, you know what? I'll be willing to help out and coach. And for me, it's always about teaching the kids to play fundamentals and to make sure that they have a love for the game and to make them feel good. But here's the thing. I definitely teach them how to win, without a doubt. So they had gone the year before. I think they went 0-15, and we started off something like 0-5. But we wound up being, I think, 6-7-1. I think we wound up going. We lost in the playoffs, but that was honestly the most rewarding year that I ever had because I coached with both of my sons, and we just had so much fun. I remember Nicholas did not want to coach, and I had some surgery. I said, Nick, you got to go out and help me out. I said, they're going to treat you like a god. I mean, because he played college ball, and they just loved him, and both my boys were just hooked on it. And so we were named the pick. Just show you how young these kids were. Our colors were green, team green. So I always let the kids name the team. Always, let's say something that's green. So I said, what do we want to call it? He says, how about we call ourselves the Grass? I'm like, yeah, I don't think about the logo. Probably not cool for 9 and 10-year-olds. Let's not call ourselves the Grass. You imagine, everybody's smoking a little doobie on the shirt. Who knows? So the next thing they said was pickles. Just think about it. If you're 9 and 10, you can't even think anything but like a grass and then a pickle. So I'm like, pickles is perfect. So the guy who I was helping coach me, gave me this shirt. It says "Dill with it," and it's a picture of a pickle. So that's how that shirt came about.
Thanks for the story, Grump.
The shirt has seen better days, but I'm never getting rid of it.
Stephen V said, I still can't believe Lou did nothing all season. And I'm not talking about, the minimum wage fossils. I mean, he couldn't even be bothered to bring in a little scoring.
And they've known it for years, and they've done nothing about it. They admitted they needed it and did nothing about it.
The re-signing of Kyle Palmieri just looks worse and worse and worse and worse. Every freaking day he doesn't score a goal. I mean, he's playing top 6 minutes. 1 goal in the season. Through the first 20 games, the top 6 guy who was supposed to be bringing offensive power, right? Hey, he's going to be able to score 20 at least goals a season, 1 goal through the first 20 games of the year. Yikes, bad. That's bad.
Who told you that was a bad idea? Who mentioned that to you?
Who called him an F-?
I don't know. Sounds like something I would say.
It does.
How's Jordan Everly doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jordan Everly scoring goals. Trotz, one having Washington plays defensive style in 2018 and the playoffs and won a cup. Yeah, that team has how many Hall of Famers on it? At least 1, if not 2 Hall of Famers on it. We don't have Hall of Famers on this team.
They were loaded, and it took him 5 years with that roster to win a cup. He could never get past Pittsburgh. Every year, Pittsburgh would beat him, except for that 1 year. And then who do they got in the finals? An expansion team. It's the only reason they won. And Ovechkin, to full buy-in. He really wanted to go for the cup that year, whatever. And it was Trotz's last year. I always say one thing. If he was that good, why didn't Washington want him back? Because they didn't. They did not want him back. See you later.
Yeah, for certain. And then we got Ivan D said, thanks for the rant, guys. I needed this. Let's go Islanders. Good night. And that's the thing, right? Even if you just need to come here and rant a little bit, that's what we're here for. We're not going to be glad-handing saying, oh, guys, hey, 3-game point streak, all your negativity needs to go away. You can't be negative. Absolutely not. I would have filmed saying, TJ, your schedule getting busier and busier during these podcasts. Great job, buddy. I appreciate that. And I appreciate it.
Yeah, kudos, TJ. He does, as an unpaid
Grumpy
intern.
here is it too. So yeah, Grumpy here too. I appreciate Grump's time. And then Mike saying the problem is the Islanders are too old and don't have enough talent to score, and they've been playing a good defensive system. That's exactly the problem.
True. Michael, NYR Mike, I want you to see us on this podcast every single time that it's on, as well as the TJ and Grumpy Old Man show.
The TJ and Grumpy Old Man show, guys, you can find in the link in the description below. We go live every single Thursday and every single Sunday. Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We just talk all sports and shoot the shit, and we go live during big sporting events. So if you like football, maybe we'll do some boxing one day too. You like baseball, you like basketball, you like hockey. We go live during all different types of sporting events for that.
You like alternate commentary on fan fights? Hey.
And thanks, Wood. I appreciate it. I appreciate you always tuning in too, my friend. SP said, here's the Islanders media. Here they go. 3-game point streak nonsense. I told you it would happen.
They're nothing if not predictable.
Yeah. Grumpy coached the Bad News Bears.
We were worse than the Bad News Bears. We had no Kelly Leak on our team and no Amanda on the mound. That much I can tell you.
SP said, classic. Islanders go on a winning streak at the end of the season and miss out on a top 10 pick, or Lou packages up Robin Salo, Atu Ratu, and the next 10-year first-round picks for Giordano or something.
Yeah. I just don't. Here's what I don't want to see happen. Hey, let's double down and try to pick up somebody else, give up a whole bunch of futures to do some type of a laughable patch job. No.
And then what a film said, awesome story, Grump. Glad I asked. Who doesn't love the Bad News Bears? Thanks for sharing that story. I love it.
The Bad News Bears should be requisite movie watching. The original, not the remake, should be prerequisite movie watching for anyone who wants to coach a children's athletics team, because it really drives the point home. But what it's really all about. A lot of these dads really, and most of them are dads, forget what it's about. Everyone thinks their kid is going to be Derek Jeter or, Hank Aaron or Babe Ruth, Barry Bonds. No, it's not the case. You got to make sure the kids enjoy it, and you teach them the fundamentals, and you make sure they have fun along the way, and you build them up. I always, at the end of the game, I would always tell a kid, except my own, of course, I would always tell them, what they did good in a game and what they potentially need to work on. But I always made sure that they went home feeling good about themselves, win, lose, or draw, even if they played poorly. I thought that was so important. And I still have kids who I see periodically, like, hey, coach, how you doing? And this is from 25 years ago. I mean, for me, it's just very, very rewarding. That's all.
Absolutely, Grump. Maybe one day you'll get back in coaching again. Alexander said Kuznetsov, Backstrom, Ovechkin, Carlson with a C. And then Holtby, Oshie. That team is loaded and was loaded. Yeah, for certain they were.
Yeah.
Mike saying, what do you guys think about Adam Fox? Really good offensive defenseman, guy that, still leaves a little bit to be desired on the defensive side of the puck. But here's the thing. You don't try to fit a square peg in a round hole. He's good on offense. He's good, joining in at the forecheck. You just try to pair him up with a stay-at-home defenseman like a Pellick, like a Dan Hamhuis, a guy who plays much more of a defensive style, so you can allow him to be more of himself.
I didn't think he deserved to win Norris Trophy last year, but he's good and he's getting better. If he played for this team, he never would have won a Norris Trophy last year. I'm just telling you. Never would have happened. The Rangers, to their credit, have given him the leash, and he's good. He's good. He's going to get better. I think he's going to get better. He'll certainly get better on the defensive end, without doubt. Good player. I wish we had him.
Alexander said, great job, guys. You guys are the GOATs. I appreciate it, Alexander. Thanks, man. Thanks as always. Thanks as always, Alexander.
When I found out Miami beat my Giants today, I said, well, at least Alexander's happy.
Yeah, I'm unfortunate.
I see he's got noodles. He's got noodles in his picture today.
Noodles. Little Tua Tagovailoa. SP said, every time we lose to another Metro team wins, the probability of us making the playoffs gets closer to zero every game we lose.
You want to know what I used to do when it was the Tavares thing? I had a little spreadsheet worked up, and I said how many possible points we could have before the end of the year, because I knew we weren't making playoffs, but that we could have the worst record, so have the greatest chance to get that first-round draft pick. And every day I would count it down. I'm like, okay, well, we're this many out of clinching the worst record and getting that. Yeah. That's what Islander fan used to be back like in the early 2000s. That's what it was like being in the early 2000s, late 2000s.
That was before the draft lottery?
Yeah. No, it was the draft lottery was there for Tavares. But like in the mid to late 2000s.
Oh, I'm sorry. You said Tavares. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, Tavares. That's all we had to look forward to was the draft every year. So looks like those times are coming again.
SP said, everyone says Lou Lamoriello plays 4D chess. None of his moves ever amount to anything. The general manager playing 4D chess is Yzerman. Yeah, Yzerman's a way better. Yzerman's a fantastic general manager. I cannot tell you how highly I think of Stevie Y. Now, remember, right? There were so many moves. Oh, this is a fantastic job by Lou Lamoriello. He went ahead and just expanded our cap space. We're going to have so much cap space at the trade deadline. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Grump, it's going to be a fun one with Phil Fax. It's going to be a fun one, man. It's on Wednesday, because here's the thing. If somehow we lose to the Ottawa Senators, and I think they're one of the worst teams in the league. That's a bottom 5 team. You could say we're a bottom 5 team based off our record right now, and you are what your record says you are, as they always say. But it's going to make for a fun one on Wednesday.
Yeah, without a
doubt. Mike also saying here, maybe Lou went after Devils players because he used to be the general manager with the Devils in the Cup years.
That's what I think. That's exactly what I've said that before.
What a film saying, you guys are hardcore. When we're all messaging you guys to keep on reading our comments over 3 hours on a Sunday night. Thanks so much, guys. Working your butts off, working your backs off. Had to say it. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. And Drew L said, Grump TJ, what's your opinion on Daniel Jones?
He sucks.
He's awful. He's miserable.
But here's the thing.
Have 2 first-round picks in this year's draft, the Chicago Bears, I believe, and the Giants.
But they don't have – there's no quarterbacks worth drafting.
Kenny Pickett. That's the only one.
Please. You think he's worth the first-round pick? No.
He's going to be a first-round pick. He's going to be a top 5 pick.
Not where the Giants are drafting. If they maybe want to trade down, perhaps.
He's going to be a top 5 pick.
Oh, he's not.
Quarterbacks always get overselected. Here's the thing. Daniel Jones was a shittier quarterback than Kenny Pickett was. Think about all these shitty quarterbacks. Mitch Trubisky was a shitty quarterback in college, but he went first overall because guess what? If you're a quarterback and you're the top of the class, you can pencil them in to be a top 5 pick. Last year was the perfect and prime opportunity for the Giants to select a quarterback. There were 5 really competent quarterbacks available, and they skipped over every single one of them. Freaking ridiculous. Sure. And that's what drives me nuts about. I'm a Giants fan too. The Giants just freaking Gettleman. Awful. You cost the franchise years of possible success because of that freaking stupid.
Yeah. Here's the thing. The fact that they didn't realize last year that they needed a different quarterback, that's what's stupefying to me, honestly. So, but here's the thing. Kenny Pickett is not going to be a top 5 pick in the draft. It's not going to happen. I'm just telling you, it will not happen. He is not one of the top 5 players in the league. Just like Daniel Jones wasn't, what was he drafted, number 7? He was like projected to go like number 50. No one thought he was that good. The Giants overdraft. Matter of fact, they overdraft everyone. The Lawrence kid from Clemson all go higher than they're expected to go. That's why you're in the problem that they're in. Take the best athletes always. Always. Never draft for position.
I'm sorry. I think Kenny Pickett's going to be a top 5 pick. Again, quarterbacks always get overdrafted, dude. Always.
Book it.
Bookmark this right here, guys. Kenny Pickett's going to be a top 5 draft pick this year. Somebody will trade up to pick him. He's going to be the first quarterback off the board, too. You can book that one also.
Okay. Well, I'll say he'll be the top quarterback in the draft, but that's a whole other question. That doesn't mean you're top 5. This is going to go right up there with Anders Lee for Patrick Kane, and all the other myriad of things. Zach Parise is going to score 20 goals a year, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. You're going to have that selective memory once again. That I said 5-ish or something like that. You said top.
How about this? I will guarantee top 10.
Oh, now you've already dropped 5 spots. If I get you
feeling so confident, you feeling so confident? Top 10, I can guarantee that. I don't know what you want to go ahead. You know what? Make yourself up some sort of ramification I'll have to do on the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man podcast, maybe even this one if Kenny Pickett's not a top 10 pick. I promise you he'll be a top 10 pick.
Everybody knows that you welch on your bets anyway.
Here you go. You have a chance. Go ahead. Put your mind at it. You've got a few days, and then give me a negative ramification if Kenny Pickett's not a top 10 pick.
I'll do something on it.
Alexander said, really want to know your opinion on Jim Harbaugh going for 2 at the end of the game against Iowa. I didn't know he did that.
Hey, it's that old Woody Hayes thing. Why did you go for 2 at the end of the game of a blowout? Because they wouldn't let me go for 3.
Do you guys wish we would have kept Okposo over Bailey?
No, because Okposo wasn't a great shakes either. He got overpaid. We overpaid for Bailey. Buffalo overpaid for Okposo. Okposo was just a product of John Tavares. He was an average, okay player, not worth the money he got. Very few guys are.
Angelar said, at what point do you just platoon the young talent every game so we can assess what we really have? Do we do that in January?
They should be doing that. Hopefully they're starting to do it now. They should do it now. You need to find out what you have. Season's over, pretty much. You want to play the younger guys and see who can be part of the solution. It's none of the older guys are part of the solution. Nobody who's 30 and over is part of the solution for this team. No one.
says, go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were done.
So you move those guys out. You don't care about them. You care about the young guys who can be in the system going forward that can benefit your team moving forward. That's all you need to worry about this year.
SB said if we lose to Ottawa in overtime, they're going to still be going crazy saying, hey, it's a 4-game point streak. The same old, same old.
Isn't not getting a win against Ottawa, even if you get a point, like a double loss? I mean, they're bad.
What a film saying, yeah, they are bad. What a film saying, Charlie and I were walking with me, waiting. It's negative 24 Celsius, so it's going to be a short one. Thanks for helping me put it off.
Charlie, poor Charlie.
Oh, man, he probably is loving it. He's probably loving it. Drew L said, I was thinking the Giants should wait for a wide receiver. Yeah, Treylon Burks there from our Treylon Burks from Arkansas. He's a good wideout, really good wideout, big guy too. Here's the thing. They don't need any more wide receiver help. The Giants need a legitimate quarterback. They don't need any more weapons to put around Jones. Jones is the role. It's like you're putting a whole bunch of if you're buying a ring, let's talk about an engagement ring, right? You're putting a whole bunch of things on the side of it. Hey, we're putting like a peekaboo diamond here. We're putting this here. We're putting that there. But the gem in the middle is just shit. That's Daniel Jones. The gem in the middle we have is a shitty gem.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is, and we'll get into seriously, these are the type of discussions we get into on TJ and the Grumpy Old Man, right?
Yes,
we get into these discussions all the time. So
I'll let you answer, Grump. I'll be right back in a sec. I gotta have the third pee. I'm sorry, I gotta pee. That's what I gotta go back.
Okay. As anyone tell, I'm able to hold my water through the whole podcast, no problem. I'm not catheterized like TJ should be. But what we talk about, what we'll need to do is who's available on the quarterback market, right? Because if you're not going to draft one, or if you do go for a Kenny Pickett, for example, and I think he will be the first quarterback drafted, I just don't think he's worth a top 5 pick for certain. I think that that's number one. Before you get wide receivers, you need to make sure the offensive line is loaded too. There's always wide receivers who come out every single year now. That's the marquee position, right? Used to be running back, now it's wide receivers. So you see them. I just don't think that they're valued as high as maybe they're valued higher than they should be because there's so many of them out there. But the number one thing is quarterback and improving the offensive line. If you can't get a quarterback that you really like, or you think drafting Pickett in the top 5 or wherever you're going to be picking is too much, you either trade back to pick him and get some more draft capital, or you go for the best offensive lineman, because that's what you really need is offensive lineman. It looks like Andrew Thomas is busted out for the most part. I mean, they've had a really hard time picking offensive linemen, to be honest with you. You got the Hernandez kid. He's not the answer. They just need a lot of help on that end.
Oh, thanks, Grumpy. Thanks for holding it down.
No
Javonte Williams. I'll tell you. SP said, Grump, I challenge you to say one good thing about Josh ECHL extra forward Bailey.
He's a really nice person. He seems like a really nice guy. Good family man. Nothing wrong with that. Just not a good hockey player.
Ray Santana said, I'm not a doctor or anything, but it's time to push the panic button or to give up on the playoffs this year already.
Yeah. What it's time to do is get everything ready, amputate the old dead weight veterans, and just put on tourniquets and grow new young kids.
What a film saying. After tying the game with less than 3 seconds left, it feels like the Red Sea is parted. No shit. Go Islanders and Bailey.
But
well, here's
what I told you, Bailey was not going to score the winning goal.
Donald W said, how do you guys feel about the NFL football in the tri-state area, the Giants and the Jets? Don't you guys think football has been bad around here for years?
It has been bad around there for years. Since Bill Parcells was there, honestly, right? Think about it. Rex had a little bit of success with the Jets. But then before that was Parcells, either with the Jets or with the Giants. I mean, well, I won't say that. Coughlin had a couple of Super Bowl wins. What the heck am I thinking?
I was about to say Coughlin had too, against the Patriots.
Yeah, that's right. But for the most part, it's tough to play in the New York area. It really is. The scrutiny is much higher than other places, and it's a tough market to play in. You have to be a certain type player to play in that market. It's not like playing in, Charlotte, for instance, where I'm from, or
playing in Cincinnati or playing in, not at all.
It's just not the same. I mean, so you have to, it's a certain breed of athlete. That's in every sport, honestly.
Cameron with the Cam said we should have won. I was at the game.
I don't, I don't know if we should have won, but I don't know if either team really deserved to win, honestly. I thought that I mean, I don't think we outplayed them. I don't think they outplayed us. It just seemed like a lot of much ado about nothing, block shots by the defense before even getting to the goalies for the most part. I mean, it was a meh game. MEH. Meh.
Oh man, oh man.
Whenever I do a text, I go meh.
He's saying here, Mike's saying Calgary, a very underrated team in the NHL. I predict they will go to the Stanley Cup Finals this year for the West. Can anybody beat Tampa this year in the playoffs?
Calgary's the other team I was thinking about. Sutter has taken, and that's the Daryl Sutter style also, right? Button-up defense, opportunistic offense, and Calgary has talent. You're seeing it now. So they're playing the button-up defense. They're playing much, much better this year. They're a team, like I said, espousing the Barry Trotz type method. And that's why they're successful in the regular season. I'm not saying they're going to win the cup, but teams like that make the playoffs and they can have extended runs. Can anyone beat Tampa this year? Yes. I feel there are teams that could beat Tampa. Carolina, I'm really impressed by Washington. Second year under Laviolette, he's really got those guys buying in. That's a difference what a good coach makes with a good team, though. Todd Reardon, same guys, really underachieved. We'll see what happens come playoff time. But as of right now, he's doing a good job.
Alexander saying, does your back hurt from carrying the show, Grumpy?
I got to wear a brace, Alexander.
Oh, man. SP said, how do you guys watch football? Most boring sport aside from baseball? Oh, I like football. Oh,
no, I enjoy football, too.
Brian J. Oh, Brian J. just keeps on. He has a new picture, I think. Brian J. of Hunter Biden, always of the leak video.
You know what I was going to say? Looks like Hunter Biden there. Look at that.
He does. Brian J. might be an alias for Hunter Biden. Says the Giants should first worry about the general manager, and then Gettleman could have picked Quentin Nelson. Shaking my head.
Yeah, I mean that was the biggest need is offensive line. I'm not quarterback's the most important position. But if you don't have an offensive line in place, and Daniel Jones was never going to be the answer. If you don't have an offensive line in place, I don't care who your quarterback is, they're going to get them killed.
Alexander said, Bleacher Report said this might be the first time a quarterback's not drafted in the top 10 since 2013.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Okay.
TJ's already drawn his line into the sand on granite, top 5, and then, of course, he regressed to top 10.
Top 10.
Know.
How about that top 10, Grumpy?
I'll go with it depends on how he looks in postseason work and I think he played well this season, Kenny Pickett, but I think there's a lot of better football players than him. That's all.
He's a fantastic quarterback. He's a really good college quarterback, and he's progressed substantially since last year. I'm telling you, he's going to be – I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if he's a top 10 pick. I'm putting – if you're going to odds, if you're going to Vegas, put him down as a top 10 pick. SP said, hey, Bailey. Who ha? I want to know whoa if you'll score a freaking goal.
He's not going to score a goal.
Donald W. I'm from central part of the country. Grumpy from the East Coast.
Very true.
Absolutely. Well, Grump, I was about to say, man, we're here towards the tail end. Grumpy old man, of tonight's podcast. It's been a long one. The live stream of the game and the podcast there a little bit in it. So we'll release this in a podcast format on Monday for everybody who listens to those on like Spotify and Google and Apple, iTunes, all that stuff. But Grump, what do you want to say before we wrap things up today?
I just want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens, and even those who don't. From TJ and the Grumpy Old Man, you guys are the lifeblood of this podcast. We absolutely love coming out and talking with you. Actually, I'm not going to say it's more important than watching the game, but it's certainly it warms our heart more than watching the game.
I enjoy doing this and talking with Islander fans and even talking with sports fans on TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. It's one of the things I look forward to during my week. And talk with you, of course, too, Grumpy. Something I enjoy every week. Something I enjoy. Certainly, we don't do this for any other reason besides talking with you guys and just the friendships we built on here. That's why we do this. Very true. I want to say thank you, everybody, who tuned in, and thank you, Grumpy Old Man.
My pleasure.
Did you say love and laughter?
I already did. Thanks for paying attention.
It's been a long one, but thank you, guys, and thank you, Grumpy.
My pleasure.